Big three plus transits, moon in Pisces, big three plus transits, moon in Pisces. What does this mean for you? In this video, we're going to be talking about your big three and going over some of the influences of the transits in the current sky at the moment here. So grab your seatbelts, your astrological seatbelts. Grab your astrological seatbelts. Buckle up as we dig into today's transits with your big three. Okay, welcome to the channel if you're new to the channel. You're more than welcome to put your big three in the comments. I have a whole bunch of notes here that I've been taking for over the course of the past week, really, of the current trends, highlights, while the sun transits Scorpio. I'm a little overwhelmed, to actually tell you the truth, with all that's going on. But I figured I'd start off with the transiting chart of the moment here and what we got coming up. The sun's ingress into Scorpio here yesterday. You know, highlights of this zodiac sign Scorpio in everybody's chart, wherever it may be. Christy, welcome. Can you do mine? You always miss me. Oh, well, we gotta get you. Mr. Joseph, Boom Bam Pop, welcome in. Did you say Boom Bag Pop? Yes, you did. You said Boom Bag Pop. Christy, we're definitely gonna get to your big three here. Something's wrong with my volume here. I gotta check this out. Okay, we're up here. Wait a minute. I don't know what seems to be going wrong with my volume here. Aries rising, you are wonderful. Assertive, they say, it is said. They say, I say, we say. Let me get this here, here, here. Oh, it's paused. It's got me paused. It's got me paused. That Aries is where you're assertive, you're a leader, and very competitive too. They say, it is said, we say. But first I want to talk about, real quick, I want to get this off my chest, Christy. D Smooth, welcome. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate you. I'm over here on YouTube. Lab Coat Astrologer. I'm doing big three plus transits. Come on over. You're going to love it over here. Oh, you can't see me. Big three plus transits, you're gonna love it over here. Boom, bang, pop. Okay, first, let me get this off my chest. This is one of the main features that I've been looking at here. I woke up with this, that the sun's ingress into Scorpio with the moon in Pisces kind of highlights this theme of Saturn. You know, which extends to all Pisces. Extends to all Pisces because the simple fact that Saturn is in Pisces. And Saturn, while the sun is in Scorpio, it's going to be sitting here at the 0th degree, which I find pretty interesting. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? Boom. The sun's ingress into Scorpio, first contact is Saturn. And that's because Saturn is sitting at 0 degrees of Pisces right now. Saturn is sitting at 0 degrees Pisces. You can recognize this blue line. It looks like three blue lines connecting Scorpio and Pisces right now in the skies by transit. This is the theme right now as we speak over the course of the next 2 days. Really, really strong right now. Really strong right now. So Scorpio and Pisces in the astrological chart are having this conversation. They're working together when it comes to desires. Scorpio, the craves, the wants, it's pretty intense. I say that because Scorpio is an intense sign, but because Mars as well as Mercury are both in Scorpio with the sun here. And the first decan of Scorpio, those that are born between October 23rd and November 1st. Pretty intense for you right now. And the connection with Saturn and responsibilities, structure, discipline, self-discipline, right? And the control of the emotions and the desires. This is the connection here. That's pretty strong. And we got a lot more aspects or events, celestial events that will be transpiring over the month. But right now we have the moon in Pisces so close to Saturn here, pointing to self-discipline. Would you agree? Does that resonate with anybody? Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you. If you can feel this energetic shift from Libra to Scorpio, from balance and finding this balance to then digging right in and going after your desires. Let me know. Can you feel this shift? Okay, Christy, let's get to your big three. I have so much in my mind right now about this Scorpio season that I decided to do big threes plus transits and just get it off my chest while I'm doing the big threes. So what I have here over on YouTube is I can show you not only the astrological chart of the website that I'm using, but I can also show you by hand here on this blank chart, putting your big three plus the transits, using it as a reference point. I have a reference point over here, as well as showing you on hand. We have Christy up first here. Aries rising, let's put you in here. Aries rising. This is you, Aries in the first place. And as I said, Aries is assertive, it's competitive. Aries is the ram. It's the symbol of the ram. Aries are competitive. They butt heads is what they do. They're competitive. And while we're here in Aries, before we go too far, I want to share with you that Chiron and the North Node are in Aries currently right now. Let me show you this over here. If we zoom in here on this chart, this astrological chart, just to show you, this is Chiron. You felt the shift, Sim. Started journaling about what I desire right on schedule. Let's go. So for Aries, this is Chiron and this is the North Node. The North Node is not a planet. It's not a planet. It marks the plane of the ecliptic where the planets ascend. So Chiron, which is the planet of healing, how we heal from wounds, and for you, it being on the ascendant points greatly to your personality. It points to your personal self. The first house is the house of self. So that's an interesting dynamic too. Your astrological chart. Aquarius sun in the 11th house is the house of friendships with the sun there. There's a great deal of importance when the sun is situated in the 11th house in connection to the friendships, the friends, the associates, and goals. With the sun in Aquarius. They say, it is said, I say sometimes that the sun in the 11th house makes the father or the father figure like a friend, or an attempt to be like a friend, providing there's no other aspects. The sun in the 11th house has to do with the way you socialize and the connection with the father figure, and friends. And not for nothing, while we're talking about big three and transits, Aquarius in the 11th house and the relationship to Scorpio in the 8th house, becomes a place of growth and development for you. And I say that because Scorpio and Aquarius are naturally square to each other. We have Mars. What do we have here? Let's go back here for a second, so we can get an idea. This is my reference point here. Let's zoom in here to Scorpio. The sun at 0 degrees, Mercury, and then Mars, 3 degrees, 5 degrees. So we can plug that into the astrological chart here. The sun, Mercury, and Mars. Now this is considered a stellium. All the babies that are born right now would have a stellium in Scorpio. And it makes for the Scorpio energetic to be desirous now that the sun has ingressed into Scorpio, involving your shared resources and growth and development between the sharing of resources between you and personal relationships and friendships. And you have the moon in Virgo in the 6th house. So you're promised, or it is said that the natal chart, the sun in Aquarius, the moon in Virgo, you're promised for and to express and to shine in the area of knowledge. This is also community action too. There's a great deal of shine to your character and your core and your beliefs, connecting community and community organization and the working together, because Aquarius has to deals with groups, if you will. Thank you for the double taps. Thank you for the shares. 2,000 double taps. Come on over. We're doing your big three plus transits over here on the TubeView. Christy, are you still with me? Deals with groups. The sun in the 11th house in Aquarius deals with group activity, community, as well as health. And I find that when the moon is situated in the 6th house, it points a great deal to the health, as well as the taking care of the health and concerning yourself with the health of the mother and or the grandmother. I even find that the moon in the 6th house is a place where an individual helps out or heals or takes care of the mother and or the grandmother. Really? Ms. Rose, how are you? Welcome. Ms. Rose the Oracle. I like how you did that, Oracle. Crafty. Warrior Goddess, how are you? Grand Rising. Come on over so I can share this with you. That's interesting, Christy, that you say that with the growth, that the influence of growth between Scorpio and Aquarius, because it highlights your sun, your life, right? If we were to turn this chart, we would have, and put Aquarius at the 1 spot, we would have Scorpio in the 10th house. That's pretty interesting. Your public image. Mars does have to do with violence. That's interesting connection with that experience. But other people's money, right? And so I want to share this with you while the moon is in Pisces currently right now, because this plays a role in what it is that I was talking about with the Sun, Mercury, and Mars in Scorpio, and this blue line that connects Scorpio to Pisces. Saturn here has a lot to do with planning. It has to do with the game plan. It has to do with structure. It has to do with discipline. It has to do with organization. So in that meaning and that interpretation, right? This is an opportune time to get all your facts and details situated and structured and contemplate. You know, Saturn points to contemplation. Grand Rising. How are you? How are you? Welcome. I'm doing your big 3 plus transits over here on the tube. I can show you over here. You can hear me over here. You can stay over here if you want. But I'm over here on the tube, Lab Coat Astrologer. Come on over, you're gonna love it. Yes, we pray for Christy. It's interesting how this is your chart here. It's interesting how there's a connection between Scorpio and Pisces, which is your 12th house. This is where the moon is right now. So I want to emphasize, you know, the importance, right? I'm starting to see this thing play out in like a picture here. And so be that Scorpio has to do with you, big 3 astrology, your big 3 plus transits. I'm on the tube. Come on over. Come on over. Happy Halloween to all the Scorpios. Let that scream stand for and symbolize the intense emotion, the depths of Scorpio. Boom, bam, pop. Yes. Excuse me? Say it again?
Are you doing your astrology stuff?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? You're going to catch me when you're not doing your astrology stuff.
Yeah, catch me. Keep trying, because sometimes I'm not. You just be missing me. All right. All right. All right, so what I'm trying to show here to you, Christy, long story shorter, is that there's an importance to reflect. There's a grave importance to reflect on. I say reflection because the moon, 1, and I say reflection because Saturn, 2. and the pondering and the collecting and the creating a plan, a game plan. Do you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this for you? And the preparation and or the planning, the pondering and the collecting of facts and artifacts and all that's needed with a peacefulness to yourself, right? It actually adds benefits to you. I want to show this to you. Watch this. It's a culmination. It's a culmination leading up to this full moon that's coming up in Taurus in your second house. Because the second house points to finances. And this is where the moon is going to be full. This is the full moon here. And what's special about this full moon in Taurus that not too many talk about is that it's happening at 5 degrees of Taurus, for one. And the 5th degree of Taurus is close to a very, very, very special degree, which is the 3rd degree. The 3rd degree of Taurus is where the moon loves to be. She loves it there. She loves being there. Hang on, I had to rise up a little bit. The moon is said to be exalted in Taurus. Eunice, you're Taurus. Let's go. Congratulations. Come on over. Oh, excuse me. We're doing your big 3 plus transits. And so long story even shorter is that this full moon in Taurus in your second house points to finances and the possibility and the potential for a financial gain, right? That's one testimony. 2 testimonies is Jupiter is not too far. Jupiter is not too far. And Jupiter is the planet of fortune, abundance, money, fortune, luck, in the area of finances for you. Are you with me? So at the same time that you're experiencing this struggle and this challenge, you know, we send our prayers out to you, hope that you're okay and everything's good. But at the same time, it's important for you to reflect and collect all those facts that you need in order to put that case together, potential financial gain, astrologically. Are you with me? I have Jupiter and Taurus in the second house. Christy, that's a 3rd testimony that points to the potential for opportunities and gains financially due to the shared resources, other people's money. The 8th house is shared resources, other people's money. It also has to do with legacies, inheritances, and gains in that regard. What you acquire from others. At the same time, it's a house of transformation and whatnot as well. Ms. Rose, quick question. My energy shifts constantly. Can those shifts be seen in my chart? Ms. Rose, I would say yes. I would say that looking at the astrological chart, we can identify certain aspects where the energetics would point to some of the shifts. And we can see that here, some of the shifts, some of the aspects here with the lab coat. Be sure to like the live, smash the subscription button ever so gently. Chrissy, I hope that's added some value and insight and confirmation to what you already knew. Who's next? Your big 3 plus transits. Do you ever do a segment on T-square? Eunice, I do segments on T-squares. I'm even going to jot that down again. If you had a specific question on T-squares, I could answer it here today, now, over, and show you on the tube. Lab Coat Astrologer, don't be shy. So this connection between Scorpio and Pisces, Sun, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, and the Moon is strong right now. This influence is strong. It's also a good time to create structures and create a new schedules and planning, all types of planning. Who is next? Your part of fortune is in Scorpio. This is another testimony that points to the ability to make gains through other people's finances, which is the 8th house. Notice how the 8th house is other people's finances, and it's exactly opposed the 2nd house, Taurus, which is your finances. I have a T-square, I have a fixed T-square with no planets in my 6th house. How do I heal this? Come on over, I can show you. We need to know, we need to unpack and see what zodiac signs are there. Because when you say no planets in the 6th house, I still see, or not that I see planets in the 6th house, but there's still a planet or planets that are attached to the 6th house with the overlay of your chart, your specific zodiac. Who is next? Your big 3 in the comments, plus transits. I'm looking at your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. Any questions that you have about astrology in relation and connection to these transits that are occurring? We got a big event coming up here on the 28th. You come to the perfect place if you're into astrology. I would say that this moon, this full moon, how do I come over? You go to YouTube and you put Lab Coat Astrologer, and I should pop right up. Astrologically, the zodiac signs exemplify these. Yesterday I called them caricatures. Each zodiac sign has a caricature. And the base and the root of understanding the character or the caricature is in the symbolism and the function of that character, what it does. And it can be likened to a play. Your birth chart is a snapshot of that play. Shekinah, welcome, beautiful day, righteousness. Come on over. If you're over here on YouTube, be sure to smash the subscription button ever so gently. My North Node is Scorpio in the 5th house. How does that affect my finances? That's a good question. Scorpio in the 5th house. So we can, you didn't put your big 3 in there, but we can fill in and overlay. If you have Scorpio in the 5th house, right? It would put Libra in the 4th, Virgo in the 3rd, and it would put Leo in the 2nd house. So potentially you're a Virgo rising. You see how I arrived at that? Possibly. Depending if you're using whole sign house system or you're using equal, or, depends on what you're using. Hi, if I wanted to start learning astrology, where should I start? Here, not your moral compass, here. You've come to the perfect place. And not only here, I don't want to be greedy and say that I'm the be-all, say-all of astrology. I would say anything that you come into contact with astrological, you should observe it, analyze it, and see its weight, its worth in gold. That's what I would say. Shekinah, come on over to YouTube. We're over here doing big 3s. Hyper Hour, welcome. Come on over. We're looking at Ms. Rose. Miss Rose is up right now. The Oracle over here on the tubular. Okay, so you've given it up to us. Cancer rising? How are you a Cancer? Oh, yes. Excuse me. I said Virgo rising. It is Cancer rising. Ms. Rose, thank you so much. You do have Cancer on the ascendant. I went backwards. I said Leo Virgo, but it's backwards. Leo Cancer. Okay, so you're a Cancer rising with a Leo sun. Okay, you got a Leo sun in the second house and a Sagittarius moon. So I will share with you that the North Node in Scorpio, right, makes for the mission. The North Node points to our mission and our purpose, right? And because it's in the fifth house, one interpretation could be that you're forever on a mission to find love. There's a deep and an intensity, Scorpio, to the purpose, North Node, to find love and for enjoyment. Having a good time is something that is your purpose and your mission. Happy Brow. Okay. Hey, bro. What's good? Welcome. Come on over to the tube. We're doing your big 3+ transits. You can find it simply by putting Lab Coat Astrologer. We got a lot in store, a lot to share over here. You're going to love it over here. Okay, so this is the ever quest, the ever lifelong quest purpose. Now, you asked about finances. How does the North Node in Scorpio affect your finances? So we have a mathematical equation or a geometric relationship and or a connection between Scorpio and Leo, the second house and the fifth house. And with the purpose and the mission to find love, one interpretation. Also, the purpose is and desire for fun and enjoyment. With the sun in the second house, this creates a square here. Sometimes the sacrifice of the finances to have fun. You know, I don't care, it's all or nothing. Like, no, I gotta have that, I gotta do this, I gotta have fun, I gotta enjoy myself. And so I would say quite simply now, currently right now, with the sun in Scorpio in your fifth house, with Mercury also here in Scorpio in your fifth house, and Mars in the fifth house, right now, these three planets are activating your fifth house. This is the fun, this is the love, this is the enjoyment, this is you. So there's a need to practice patience a little bit with Mars here, because Mars can be impulsive when it comes to love, impulsive when it comes to the enjoyments, and the reflecting on your financial and finances to determine for long term how it will affect you. And I say long term because the fifth house opposes the 11th house, which has to do, it creates this relationship between what it is that's on our heart and what it is that is in the distant or in the future. The 11th house can be likened to the future, if you will. Leo Sun, welcome. Got kicked off, Cancer rising. How'd you get kicked off? Miss Rose, does that answer your question? My guess for fun, my quest for fun and traveling always mess with my finances. Very well, we have to do a little more pondering here. And I would say that lately, you've been spending quite a bit. We have a transit that occurred here not too long ago over the course of the past 7 months. Venus's transit through Leo actually increases the finances, right? So it's a potential that with the financial increase, maybe not. Maybe your eyes got big and you're like, oh wow, I can have this I can have this fun and enjoy myself. Now that Venus is out of Leo, it's in Virgo, you have to think a little bit more about the future. Now this is part of it. This is part of the story. You see, I only put 4 zodiac signs in here, per your question. This drawing out of the astrological chart is an excellent way to start to make sense. Ms. Precious, welcome. How are you? Be sure to like the live if you're enjoying the live. All right, who do we have next? If you're into astrology, you come to the perfect place. I'm doing your big 3. I'm using this chart here as a reference point, and I'm recognizing what has caught my eye as per today in the story that's manifesting and taking shape is this strong set of blue lines here between Scorpio and Pisces, which ties in a knot and connects the Sun, Mercury, and Mars with Saturn and the Moon. This is a feature. You know, Scorpio, if you look, one of the reasons why I like this chart here on this website is the colors. They say, it is said, I even say that pictures are worth 1,000 of words. Music is one of the ways that help us with neuroplasticity and the remembering. And these colors here, blue Scorpio, blue Pisces, it points to the water. When you see blue in the chart, per this chart, this triangle here of Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer creates this emotional unit, if you will. And so Scorpio and Pisces are ever so connected right now. And because Saturn in Pisces, Moon has just brushed past over the past 5 hours, Saturn in Pisces, it brings us to be influenced to think a little bit more about our responsibilities, self-discipline, structure, and such. I woke up thinking about my investments, so you are spot on. Ms. Rose, thank you. There's a little more contemplation that's involved with you and your finances and your approach in that regard. And I say contemplation because of the Sun, Mercury, and Mars and Scorpio in your 5th house. It brings an ambition, it brings a excitement, you know. It brings an excitement to you and a happiness. The 5th house is said to be a happy place, but we want to exercise patience. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces here. And so with Saturn and the Moon in your 9th house, you know, this is the incorporation of philosophies and learning. Perhaps you should learn a little bit more about your investments that you have going on right now and see what kind of tweaks and twerks you can utilize or pivot to reach the maximum gains in that regard. Okay, that's Miss Rose. Okay, Posh 8. I see you, Posh 8. I see you, Crystal. I see you, Black Beauty 357. Welcome. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm going on the list here. Japni, Garia. I missed some. Shakti. I've missed some. It looks like Shakti's next. Who's here? Let me know who's here, so I don't want to do anybody's chart that's not here. Welcome. Double tap for like, share the live. Obsidian Hands, welcome. If you're into astrology, you come to the perfect place. I'm over here on the tube doing your big 3 plus transits. That's exactly what I planned for today. Ms. Rose, thank you so much for the confirmation. I appreciate you. hope that that has assisted you a little bit more. You know, meditation is it may prove as a benefit for you, you know, with your anxiousness. You recognize that anxiousness within you? Okay. Japney, you're here. Thank you so much. Posh8, thank you. Appreciate you. Crystal, thank you. An interview with, I see you. I'm here. Fire, lit. Appreciate you. Japney, let's do Japney. Look at that. Well, would you look at that? Japney has Cancer on the ascendant too. We can stay here. We can stay here a little with a Leo sun, the same as Ms. Rose, but with an Aquarius moon, as opposed to a Sagittarius moon. It's the Aquarius moon. We got to do a little bit of erasing here a little bit, but we can keep this transit here. We can erase this moon right here, and we can keep the sun and Venus in the second house, although Venus is in Virgo now. But for you Cancer risings, right, this month, one of the main themes and the highlights is your love life and the things that you hold most dear and close to your heart. I say that because Cancer rising, the overlay of Cancer on the ascendant has Scorpio in the 5th. Let me move this over. Let me get out of the way. So the Sun, Mercury, and Mars here is take your time, patience. This is one of the features, Mars and Scorpio. Mars and Scorpio makes us so desirous and crave and ambitious, passionate, you know, a drive, you know, like, it's intense like a black widow spider, if you will. It's intense like a Scorpio sting, if you will. Wait a minute, how can Aquarius be in the 11th house with, this is wrong, excuse me. This is another one of the benefits of drawing the chart by hand. Is you make mistakes, honestly. Cancer has Aquarius, in the 8th house. So your moon is in the 8th house, I made a mistake. So this makes for you to be born during a full moon, which is the testimony that makes the moon in Aquarius in the 8th house even that much stronger, if you will, because it's a full moon. Whenever the sun and the moon are in opposite signs, it denotes a full moon. All right? And so your promise to have this access to manifest in connecting your finances and other people's finances and shared resources. I find that when the moon is in the 8th house, it signifies the transformations within the family, sudden and unexpected changes. You know, maybe it's the grandmother or the grandparents that had a significant impact in your life, as well as the knowledge that the mother expresses, or what knowledge you learned from the mother through her transformations and changes and abrupt changes with your living circumstances. They say the moon in Aquarius is also a lot of, hello, I'm well. Tara Beth, welcome. How are you? We're over here on YouTube having a blast. We're doing your big 3 plus transits. That's what this denotes here. So you just recently had a lunar return over this past weekend. Or Sunday, Monday. The end of Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And making some changes, right? Making some changes perhaps to your eating. Your eating fluctuates. Per this astrological chart with the moon in Aquarius, this is the fluctuation, sudden and unexpected shifts with the diet, if you will, too. But it's new beginnings with shared resources and some of your desires, and the sharing of resources and how you interact with others and what you allow others to, what you allow in relationships would be the 8th house. That's pretty interesting. What else do I see here for you? So this full moon coming up here, this full moon coming up in Taurus, that's happening. It looks like there's an importance and a connection with and benefits through the friends and the associates and collaborating with this full moon. The moon does very well in Taurus. It's said to be exalted. So with the moon being exalted in Taurus in your 11th house, it exalts and it brings a security and comfort through and by friends and associates and the getting together and networking. Correct me if I'm wrong. Share with me. I don't to tech astrology. Love this stuff. You missed me. The square question. An interview with I didn't miss you. I got you. I'm definitely going to get to you. Japanese rather. Excuse me. Love life currently sucks, you put in the comments. Interesting. Well, I do want to share with you with that comment, when you say the love life sucks, right? It makes me wonder how patient you've been. Because Mars is in Scorpio in the 5th house. You know, there's a need to slow down. This full moon in Taurus actually climaxes. It points to friends assisting you with this love life circumstances. And because Mars is in Scorpio, it makes me think and want to say that there may be a little bit moving too fast. And attachments. You know, this may even point to maybe a bit of letting go in that regard. And pouring into yourself a little bit. Because the 5th house has to do with love life, but it also points to the love of self. You just broke up with your boyfriend and you're looking for a new job. Well, the highlight that's coming up for you is the friendships, the friends, networking, reaching out to friends. Get out of that miserable place with that breakup and let's focus on some of our goals. This is what's approaching. This is what's coming. This is the climax, if you will, cosmologically. Black Beauty, I see you. Let's see who's next here. Japney, I appreciate you for sharing. Thank you so much. Tyra Beth, I'm well. Thank you for asking. Let me see who's next. Ms. Rose Christie, Posh 8, hey, see you. I'm looking at this list here. Be sure to like the live if you're liking the live, if you're enjoying the live. I've smashed the subscription button ever so gently. I'm looking to see who is next. An interview. I did skip you. You're right. Eunice. I did skip you. You're so 100% right. All right, let's get to, pardon me for skipping you. I didn't mean it. It wasn't intentional. Let's get to you. Thank you for your patience. If you're over here on TikTok, we're over here on YouTube having a blast. You don't have to come over, but one of the benefits to coming on over is your ability to see and connect the dots. I recognize that a lot of us astrologers, sometimes we get to talking and we understand the complexities, the intricacies rather, of the astrological chart. We sometimes forget about the beginning stages. It's one of the reasons for me creating this channel, is to show how this thing comes together and tells a story. And I've actually arrived at comprehending how the story comes together is through each individual's unique interpretation of these elements, archetypes, and these caricatures that come together and tell like a play, like liken it to a Greek play, originated from 0 degrees latitude, 0 degrees longitude. All right, an interview, you're up. Taurus Sun. For those who are in here, thank you so much for your patience. We're doing your big 3 plus transits. An interview with ... is up, AKA Eunice. Taurus Sun, Gemini Moon, Leo Rising. Leo Rising, Gemini Moon. Oh, you and your mom are like best friends. Mom or the grandmother. Sun in Taurus. The boss. I say the boss even though you're not a Capricorn because, let me show you this. I don't know why this paper keeps moving on me. This is you, Leo Rising, Taurus Sun, Gemini Moon. You were born right after a new moon. If we were to back up when you were still in the womb, about 30 days-ish, potentially, within 30 days before you were born, there was a new moon in Taurus. So you were born during a waxing moon, which means the moon was increasing in light. Long story short. And what that means is that with the sun and the moon here, even though you're not born during a new moon, it would be considered a prenatal new moon, which is the new moon before your birth is what they call it on this website here, astro.com. But anywho, we'll get to that in another video. But it does point to the career, the reputation, and your ability to be in managerial and administrative positions. This is what the 10th house has to do with the career, the reputation. It has to do with seeing, having the ability to see from heights, an overall picture when it comes to your public image as well as your finances, interestingly enough. It also makes for the father, right, to be a stickler when it comes to, you know, and value and show you and share with you about values and the importance of values in your finances and your wealth with the sun at the 10th house. This is this makes for the father figure to be well recognized or known within the community. May not be a Hollywood superstar, maybe not. But it does point to recognition. The 10th house has a lot to do. The 10th house and the midheaven have a lot to do with the recognition. Are you with me? So one of the main features for you, it points to the relationships with the family. Taurus is the 10th house, and right across the street would be Scorpio, where the sun, Mercury, and Mars are currently located. So it brings the family life and the home life and the importance of family and the roots and the comforts and your security. You know, the family situation and the career and the reputation come into a focus. Now, what dawns on me right now is the full moon that's occurring in the 10th house coming up. There's a climax, perhaps some fruits and fruition to manifest things in regards to your career and a security in regards to your work and or your own business. Correct me if I'm wrong, talk to me. How do we donate to your channel? There's a number of ways. Thank you for sharing that. How would you like to donate? You can do Cash App. I should have put that in my bio. You can subscribe to my Patreon, which is also in my bio. You can go to my website, tlcastrologer.com. You can, I need to get that. How do I get paid? I appreciate that. I'm gonna put my Cash App in here just because. If I can do that. Can I do that? I can do that. Pow. You don't have to. If you like, you can. Okay, so you're on point. So I do want to share this. I want to share this. I'm using this as a reference point. If you're just getting here, welcome to the channel. If you're into astrology, you come to the perfect place. We're talking about your big three plus transits. These are the transits that I'm using to reference. And I'm tying in this Scorpio zodiac sign and Pisces, which are two ties, denoted by these blue lines, which, while we're here, when you see the blue lines on this website, it's a harmonious. It means the energies are working well together. So self-discipline works with and connects to the desires in order for the fulfillment of said desires. Leading up to this full moon in Taurus, which is the manifesting point on Saturday. So let's look at this in your astrological chart, because these blue lines are connecting Scorpio and Pisces, which is the 8th house. Saturn here. You know, congratulations to you, an interview with, we want to give you a cheer. We want to give you a, what do we want to give you? We want to give you a cheer. That's a little low. Hang on. Wait a minute. We got a cheer for you. We got a cheer for you. Cheering. In how much growth that you've experienced over the past 2 years between 2020 and 2022 for you in relationships. And so I'm pointing at that. I'm pointing at that because of this connection between Scorpio and Pisces, and how Saturn has graduated, if you will, or shifted into Pisces, which is in your moral code and relationships and respect and boundaries, and creating these boundaries and maintaining those boundaries, if you will, in relationships. Not only intimate relationships, but also in personal relationships and business ties, if you will. Cindy K, welcome. We're over here on YouTube, having a blast. Pura Dominicana, welcome. You have Saturn in your 8th house in Pisces? Is that what you're saying to me? Let's see who's next. Are you saying that you have Saturn in Pisces in the 8th house? In the 8th house? It looks like Shakti is next. Shakti, are you still here? Talk to me. Okay, it's in Aries. So astrologically, when it comes to the house systems, using whole sign house system, Aries would be your 9th house. Even though I know you may have, when you look at your astrological chart, you may have some of Aries in the 8th house, and that's why you're saying Saturn is in the 8th house. I got you. But this chart here is a whole sign house system. So what that means when we get that is we can read Saturn in the 8th house, but we can also read Saturn in the 9th house, which is another testimony that points to shared resources and other people's possessions and their contribution right? Their contribution and how they contribute to the relationship. This is part of the respect that you've learned between 2020 and 2022. But the actual someone coming out and giving like you give, if that makes sense. You know, it's an 8th house, 2nd house relation. But the momentum is traveling over the course of the next 3 years. It comes to you incorporating and learning how to share and how to allow others to give and share and be considerate how you give. And it's a great deal of learning. This is a place of learning for you. Because the 9th house has to do with learning and education. Cindy K, come on over. We're on the tube. I'm doing your big 3 plus transits. If you're into astrology, you come to the perfect place. Be sure to smash the subscription button ever so gently if you enjoy astrological insights. An interview, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Cash App is in the comments if you scroll back. All right, where do I fall in the line? Black Beauty, that's a perfect question. Thank you so much. Let me scroll back here and see you. Boom and pop. I asked Shakti if Shakti was here. Shakti is no longer here. We're gonna... Black Beauty, you can be next. Let's get you. It's helpful if you comment, if you're still here every once in a while, even if it's not your turn. Black Beauty, that was perfect. I appreciate you. Sag, Sun, Taurus, Moon, Libra Rising. Scorpio node. Ah, you slipped in the Scorpio node. Ah. You know, if you comment and put your big 3 there, even if you've already put your big 3, it's helpful for me because I scroll back. I scroll back to see who's next. And sometimes people leave, which is fine. Sometimes they might have something to do. They might be on their lunch break. They might have to change a diaper or 2 or 3. But it's helpful. It's definitely helpful for me. For those that are wondering, I've been doing astrology for over 2 decades. Boom, bam, and popping. And I think I found my mission. One of my missions, because I love this stuff, is to share perspective, a visual picture. Create a picture of the story. I'm working on my storytelling too. So you're definitely going to want to stay tapped in. You're most indubitably going to want to stay tapped in. I'm always doing live astrology. You can subscribe to the Patreon every Sunday, providing nothing in my life is happening, because I am also a father. Every Sunday we do a Patreon live Zoom call. And you can ask questions, you can talk to me, we could talk amongst each other with a little community there. Boom, bam, pop. Way to stay tapped in addition to your other insights that you get astrologically. Boom, bam, pop. All right, let's get this. Okay, Shakti, now you're speaking up. I appreciate you. Where do I fall in the line? I'm doing Black Beauty first because Black Beauty spoke up. I'm doing Black Beauty first. Shakti, you're next. All right, it's much more convenient when I can just have that list there. So if you're here, don't be afraid to comment and say, hey, whoa, hey, whoa, buddy. Hey, bud. Hey. All right, so Black Beauty. Sag Sun, Taurus Moon, Libra Rising. Let's get you. Libra's on the ascendant here. Also, I just thought about my Instagram. The letter T, Lab Coat 7 is my Instagram. You're more than welcome. If you have questions and you want to ask me a question, you could do that too. T, Lab Coat 7. Pow. Did that go in? It did go in. That is my Instagram name. Shakti, yes you are here. I got you after Black Beauty. Absolutely. Sag Sun. So Sagittarius is the third house. Quite the communicator you are, Black Beauty, with the sun in the third house. Adventurous, optimistic, with a Taurus moon. Scorpio, Taurus would be the 8th house for you. So we have the 3rd house and the 8th house. This is an understanding. This makes me think of an individual who has understanding or learns, right, insights and how to communicate and add value to others and to make money through other people's money and finances. Libra on the ascendant makes you a contractor or a personality that's similar to a contractor, a judge, a lawyer. I say, you know, Libra is the judge, the diplomat, the lawyer, you know, and the such. And when it's on the first house, in the first house, this solar eclipse ring of fire, you know, was pretty huge for you in regards to how you present yourself to other people. You know, the face, the persona, you know, there's a little bit of a shift with the way that you express yourself and the way that you see how to balance and find balance in relationships. Anywho, the full moon is happening where your natal moon is, which points to the sharing of resources, other people's money, right? Joint finances, because Taurus is the zodiac sign of finances, right? In addition to that, we have Scorpio in the 2nd house, which is where the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are. So this is the theme. It's the finances in general is the theme that's highlighted. It focuses on you controlling your desires, right? And your spending habits and the contribution of your partner's finances and how they contribute to balance perhaps your spending. These are the two ties here. And so right now as we speak, using the transits, this blue line, this set of blue lines here is a focus, and it connects Scorpio and Pisces. So we're gonna tie the 2nd house with the 6th house for you, and the importance to find a stable diet, right? And a focus on health and self-care, which is a focus right now leading up to this full moon in Taurus. Correct me if I'm wrong. Talk to me, Black Beauty. Crystal, I appreciate you. You keep that up. You're going to be a moderator here soon with that order like that. Shakti, you're next. Pashe, perfect. Smarter Than You TV. I love it. Perfect. Aquarius Sun, independent. You're on the list. Black Beauty, talk to me. Does that resonate with you? You know, this full moon in the 8th house looks like somebody gives you something, or the partner shares some resources with you. It's money through other people. Crystal, yes, thank you. I appreciate you. Crystal, you can put your big 3 in there again if you'd like. How do we pay for a full reading? An interview with, that's a perfect question. And my website is tlcastrologer.com. It's in the description on my page on the channel. If you go there, you can find a way to book a full reading. And the readings that I do now, that I've got some new software, I do your reading via Zoom, right? If you like it recorded, that's gonna be a little bit extra because it takes a little bit more work for me. But I can toggle during the reading and you can ask me questions and I can show you. You can be like, oh, wait a minute, what's that? I'm gonna say, oh, that's Mars. That's Mars in Scorpio in your 11th house, boom, bam, pop. You know, what's this? Oh, that's Uranus in Taurus, boom, bam, pop. And we look at some of the transits. I do 3 charts. I do your natal chart, the progress chart, which is a predictive technique that I've been using, which kind of locates what you've evolved to, you know, how you've progressed from birth to now. I don't go through your entire life. I actually focus on the current moment, the present moment. And then I overlap the transits, and I also look at the solar return chart. I love this stuff, so I kind of mix a couple of, you know, I got quite a bit of concepts that I utilize. And it's a great way in which to arrive at an overall understanding of the story that's playing out in your life and the influences from an astrological point of view. Boom, bam, pop. All right, so let's get this here. Now I have to do some erasing. Black Beauty, you're on point. Thank you so much, appreciate you. Gotcha, Crystal, thank you. I forgot who I was doing now with that commercial. Shakti, we're doing Shakti. Shakti, you're here, okay, Cancer, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Leo, Rising. Okay, let's reference here. Shakti's next. Thank you for your patience. If you're waiting, if you're into astrology, you come to the perfect place. If you're over here on TikTok, you're enjoying the voice. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Over here on the tube, you can see what I'm doing if you're interested in learning how to comprehend the intricacies of the astrological chart. Before I had 12 charts, 12 separate different charts for the 12 rising signs, and it was helpful. It was very helpful, but it gets cluttered and clustered. And plus this erasing of the chart is kind of a way for me to prepare for the next reading and fit in my little commercials as opposed to looking for the next astrological chart. Each live gets better with time. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm a creature of progress. So thank you so much. Be sure to smash the subscription button ever so gently and like the live if you're liking it. Shakti, Cancer, Sun, Leo, Rising. Cancer, Sun with a Scorpio Moon. All right, we got you here. So this unit, Shakti, I want you to notice Scorpio here with the Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Oh, excuse me. Scorpio here with the Sun, Mercury, and Mars. That's blue, points to emotions. And these blue lines that connect Pisces, which is also blue. This is a family. Scorpio's family members with Pisces, and Saturn and the Moon here. There's a tie here in everyone's astrological chart right now. It's where we are in the story. Scorpion pie. Scorpion pie. All right, so let's go to your astrological chart. This is you. This is you. So Leo on the ascendant is said to be a person who is expressive, a person who's giving. Why do I say giving? Because the sun is the planet that rules Leo. That's a little secret there with planetary rulerships. The sun is the giver of life and light And as a Leo ascendant, it exemplifies this, the nature of the sun, which is giving warm, and the sunshine. The sunshine. Another testimony to the giving and the nurturing and the caring nature within you is the sun in Cancer. Cancer is the sign of family, home. It's protective, right, of the family. It's in the 12th house, which points to your secret self, your private self, the subconscious. There's a tendency to go back down memory lane quite a bit. This is what you're promised. It also gives you the ability. Don't take PayPal. I do take PayPal, Catherine. I do take PayPal. Did you go to the website? Did you not see the PayPal button? Talk to me. I do take PayPal. Anywho, the sun in the 12th house. You know, I find sometimes that the sun in the 12th house is not the best. Is not the best place, the best relation with the father. There's some secret emotions or uncomfortable emotions, or the emotions of the father or the father figure in some way, right? But I will say that this connection between the natal sun in Cancer and the moon in Scorpio does make a connection. And not for nothing, Pisces in the 8th house, with the moon, with Saturn in Pisces and the moon in Pisces now, it creates this bond between family and shared resources, but it creates this grand trine between Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This moon in Scorpio, with the sun, Mercury, and Mars in Scorpio here, and for you to really tap into your inner emotions and reflecting on the past and utilizing that for forward progress. Let me find that for you, Catherine. This is my, bear with me, pardon me here. Let me get you to the screen here. Okay, we got 5 likes with 11 people in here. Be sure to like the live stuff. Technical difficulties here, bear with me. Coming right back. You should still be able to hear me. All right, there I go. Popping back. I'm in here. I'm in here like swimwear. All right, so it creates this grand trine between the water signs. And so this makes for you to be a bit more reflective. The themes are your living conditions. Black Beauty, we'll find your North Node. We'll definitely find your North Node. Did I lose? I lost the chat. Interesting, that's awesome. All right, somebody comment in the chat. Horrible. Oh, you can't hear me. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. Pardon me. Boom, bam, pop. Okay, let me know, Shakti, if you're still here. Let me know if you're still here. Testing, testing. Can you hear me here? Testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing. Solar return is awesome because when these 3 T-squares, I may be on point financially. Okay, perfect. I guess Shakti must have left. All right, so let's see who is next. Posh 8 is here. Okay, so Posh 8, I'm pretty sure you're next. Scorpio, Sun, Capricorn, Rising, Aries, Moon. I hear you loud and clear. Catherine, thank you so much. Yes, you're accurate. There's some unknown or buried issues with father. Thank you for the confirmation. Smarter than you, you're after Crystal. You believe? Does everyone agree? Kiso, Posh 8, Crystal, then me. Oh, smarter is next, then me. I think it's Posh 8. Okay, Posh 8, you're next. Shakti, I appreciate you. The main focus for you is the family, though, and your living situations and your security there, right? And it leads up to the full moon in Taurus, which has an air of career and reputation. It looks like your work or the type of work that you do, there's some benefits. There's some benefits and opportunities in connection to and being recognized in your business and acquisition through your career and through the work that you do. And I say that because the moon is full in your 10th house as well as Jupiter there. Okay, so let's get Pashe. Shakti, I appreciate you. Thank you. Be sure to smash the subscription button ever so gently. Let's get Pashe. Elisa, welcome. How are you? Sag, Sun, and Rising with Cancer Moon. Come on over to YouTube. You can be put on the list. Hearts in the comments if you're enjoying this. Let me know. Talk to me. Why can't I find it here? Okay, I got you, Pashe. Let's go back here to the transit chart real quick while I prepare for Posh 8's chart. And if you're listening, you know, if you have an idea of your astrological chart, this is a perfect live. My lives are perfect for you grabbing your astrological chart and following along if you're not at work or busy, to be able to see how these components of the astrological chart actually come together. But Scorpio is the theme in that the sun is there. The sun is the center of the solar system, it is said. And because it's the center of the solar system in the astrological sense, the archetypes, the characteristics of Scorpio are said to be a highlight. Capricorn rising. Scorpio sun. And Aries moon. Ooh, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. I say oof like that because I don't know why I keep moving that. Is because of the fact that the sun is in Scorpio and the moon is in Aries, and when it comes to the planetary rulership, Scorpio and Aries are they're kind of connected in that Mars is the ruler of Scorpio and Mars is the ruler of Aries. You know, in the modern rulership, Pluto is also the ruler of Scorpio, but the Mars is the tie between Scorpio and Aries, with the desires and the crave. Mel, all day, thank you for the heart me. You're on the team. Come on over. We're over on YouTube having a blast over here. So when you get the sun in Scorpio and the moon in Aries, it kind of brings a highlight and a focusing in to where Mars is in your natal chart. Now, we're not doing the whole entirety of the natal chart. We're just doing the sun, moon, and the rising sign. We're just doing the sun, moon, and rising sign, but we can see that in the transiting skies, right, we have Mars in Scorpio. So this Mars in Scorpio for you, Pashe, is a significator. Happy birthday too, by the way. How rude of me. How rude of me. We got to get a cheer for happy birthday to Pashe. So this whole month, and because Scorpio is in the 11th house by whole sign house system, it brings a focus to the goals. Now there's some layers to this here. For one, it makes me think that you need to be mindful of the things that you say to your friends and the ones that you love, you know, that you care about. It also makes me think about collaborations and networking and your drive to want to work with others. But because Mars is here, it makes me think that there's a need to take your time and be patient when it comes to friendships and not moving too fast, if you will. Low energy, what's up with emotions the past couple of days? Mel, come on over. I'm about to reset this live real quick. Posh 8, are you with me? Talk to me. Sun, Scorpio, wait a minute. Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Capricorn, Rising. Posh, did you do me? Okay, let's reset. No problem, no worries, no worries, no worries. No worries. Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Capricorn, Aries rising. Okay, let's change this up. Let's change this up. No problem. Let's reset. Let's reset this. Aries rising is a little different from Capricorn rising. It's a little bit different. It's a little different. Let's reset this. Be sure you got your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign all collected there, everyone, if you don't mind. A little different. It's a little different. Let's have a reset here. It's no problem. It's everyone makes mistakes. Everyone. Even me. I love making mistakes. I love it. All right. So Aries is on the ascendant. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Scorpio sun. Still happy birthday. We could still happy birthday you. You know. In the Scorpio season. Intense emotion, that scream, let that scream serve as intensity of emotions. You know, we got Halloween. It's interesting how the sun is in Scorpio when Halloween goes on, and the fear factor, I'm scared, All right, Moon in Capricorn. Okay, so this is you after the reset. Posh 8. This is a little different. We got the sun over here in the 8th house, right? And so the sun in the 8th house it makes for someone who's very private, for one. Not only because Scorpio is private, but because it's in the 8th house, it's private, secretive, right? Can be. Also, they say, it is said, I say, that sun in Scorpio has, especially in the 8th house, it's comfortable. Scorpio's in a comfortable place. The sun is very desirous in the 8th house there in regards to achieve your goals and shared resources, what you share with others, like loyalty is extremely important and significant in that regard. And so we have the sun in a water sign, we have the moon in an earth sign, Capricorn. The moon is said to be in its detriment in Capricorn. So it makes for the mother to be hard on you. You know, this is tough love from the mom. Mom don't take no nonsense. Important text on your phone. Okay, I will look at it. Ganj was good. Jesse G was good. We're over here on YouTube. Come on over. We're having a blast over here. We're having a blast. Melinda Schmidt, I see you. How are you? How was that eclipse birthday? What's up? What's up? How was your eclipse birthday? It was good, spiritual Meraki. All right, so Posh here. I want to focus on, we said happy birthday to you. Now this sun, with the transiting sun, you're getting ready to have a solar return. So this makes, with the sun in the 8th house and the sun now being in Scorpio, I'll say that every time around your birthday, you make some significant changes, and it's like a rebirthing of the self. It's like it makes me think of like caterpillar to cocoon to monarch butterfly. You know, you shine in the area of making complete transformations, complete remodels, complete makeovers, a complete redo, reset, goddamn tear down everything, let's start over. Repitan, which means repeat. Repeat it again. But with Mercury here, you know, it adds to, it's a secondary testimony that adds to the want to change and make changes. And with Mars here, it makes me want to say that you want to be mindful of moving too fast. You know, I think that for everybody, especially for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Risings, it's important to be mindful of the things that we say. This is really thinking before we speak, because Mercury is the planet of communication, Mars is the planet of impulse, and Scorpio is the sign of the cutter. You know, it's the Black Widow, as Ganja Queen has talked about, metamorphosis. Yes, it's the scorpion sting. It's the snake. You know, not only for its venom that it spits, but also for its skin shedding, the shedding of the skin, if you will. So we have that. It's complete rebirth. Pashe, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, boom. Now, there's a tie here. There's a connection here with Pisces, as I'm going to show you here in this chart. This blue line, I'm pointing to some aspects here for those who are looking at aspects. This is a trine aspect. Why do we call it a trine? Because Scorpio and Pisces are of the same unit. The signs of the same color here make this triangle. Some of you have just seen it as I'm doing this with this green circle here, this triangle. You see that there? This triangle here. And so there's a connection between Scorpio and Pisces, and especially now, you know, and how we woke up in the past 12 hours, if you will, because the moon and Saturn are close here. So we can bring that information and we can plug that in to the astrological chart for Aries rising, Scorpio, and Pisces, with Saturn and the moon. So in this energetic of making changes, you want to be mindful of not to move too quickly, and also make sure that you rest. This is a connection between your ability to transform and renew is based solely on your amount of rest and reflection on the past, if you will. You know, Pisces is the sign of, it makes me think of spirituality. It does point to spirituality, and it also points to the meditative state. You know, our ability to be one with ourself and to, you know, have this retreat and this solitude. Are you with me, Pashe? So there's a connection there. Now, just to digress a little bit, the new moon, the ring of fire, you know, focus significantly on your 7th house, which is some of your relationships, right? Some of your relationships. This is the new moon. And leading up to the full moon in Taurus, where the moon will be full, points to your 2nd house, your finances. So some of these changes that you make this month have a lot to do with your ability to find structure and discipline in regards to your sleep habits and setting time aside for yourself to reflect so that you can acquire a certain financial position. Boom, bam, pop. Boom, bam, pop. Maximum. Are you doing the transits? Adorn, light, elements. I am doing the transits. I'm over here on YouTube. Boom, bam. I don't know why I'm talking to the mic because it's not on. Pray for Trey. Yes, pray for Trey. I'm doing transits. I'm over on YouTube. We're doing your big 3 plus transits. Who is next? Posh 8, appreciate you. Bashir Brown, we in here? Appreciate you. Be sure to smash the subscription button ever so gently, and like the live if you like it. If you're liking it. Always doing live astrology. Who is next? Someone help me out. Big 3 astrology plus your transits. We can situate this time. We can move this time a little bit here. What we're doing here is we're talking about your big 3. We're talking about the transits. Sun in Scorpio, intense emotions. I have this scream here. This scream sound effect. Not trying to scare anybody, but that scream is something that has reminded me of this intense emotion, Scorpio. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This strong tie. If you look at the inner part of this wheel here, you see this geometry that we got going on here. You know, these are the aspects. And the aspects and the geometric shapes are said to have meaning when it comes to interpreting the astrological chart. You know, not only is the sun in Scorpio and it deals with the desires and the craves, but we have this connection between Scorpio and Pisces with the moon and Saturn and sun, Mercury, and Mars. Excuse me. Sun, Mercury, and Mars, and Saturn and the moon, which kind of speaks to a need to hamnamyo reino kyos, you know, be patient in all our excitement and move a little more rhythmic, you know, to find structure, you know, through rest. You know, there's different forms of rest. I don't want to get too crazy into that, but who is next? Posh 8, thank you. I'm always doing big 3 plus astrology, plus transits rather, plus astrology. You're welcome to come here and share. Transit Pluto trine your natal sun. Ping! YouTube is here. TubeU is here. All right, who's next? Oh, Crystal, you're next? Let's see, let's scroll back. You're a Scorpio. Okay, you're a Scorpio. I see you put the Scorpio gang in there. Okay. Crystal, I don't think you put your big 3 in there. Okay, we know your North Node is in Cancer. Okay, we got you. You did do it. You are a Scorpio sun, okay? And you're a Sag rising. Okay, very well. Let's get to you. Boom, bam, blip. Let's get to you. Sagittarius, they say it is said, I say, we say. Sagittarius is adventurous. Sagittarius likes to teach. It loves adventure. If it ain't no fun. All right, I'm gonna leave that right there. That's not the song I was looking for, but that's what we got. Sagittarius rising is the teacher, the guru. The planetary ruler, your chart ruler for the Sagittarius overlay is Jupiter. You know, it points to wisdom. All right, so Sagittarius rising, what do you got? Sun in Scorpio. 2 testimonies right off the bat that point to the privacy, your privacy, and you being a private individual. The sun in Scorpio for 1. Sun in Scorpio in the 12th house for 2. What do you got? What do you have? And the moon in Pisces. Oh, so this is a new beginning for you. You're quite the psychic, Crystal, aren't you? I'm a tarot reader. You're quite the psychic. You're very, I will say extremely. Eva Tor, how are you? Sweet Tea, good morning. Adorn Light Elements, we're still over here on the tube. Come on over. Sweet Tea, all those who are over here on the talk, come on over. We're having a blast over here. The natal North Node Sagittarius. The North Node does very well in Sagittarius. Let me zippity doo dah over here to this chart. Here we have it. We have this chart here. So there's a connection. I want to go back to this chart for a moment and look, Crystal, at this zodiac sign Scorpio here and this zodiac sign Pisces here, and how this blue line that takes shape, which we can plug into your astrological chart between the 12th house and the 4th house here. This is the happy birthday, by the way, to you, Crystal. Now you're gonna like this, Crystal. I have something for you. I have something for you. Watch this. This is what I'm receiving via download from the universe right now. That's what I'm receiving. I'm receiving a download right as we speak. And I'm getting the 12th house, right? This points to your mysticism and your ability to arrive at these conclusions ever so magically and get this insight in the 12th house. The sun shines, you know, in Pisces compartment as a Scorpio. I say Scorpio is the most psychic, not Pisces. I think it's Scorpio because Scorpio has Pisces ahead of it, if you will. But because Mars is here, you know, it's extremely, before you do your tarot card readings, before you do anything, it's like an overload. You get overloaded with all this information and you're not sure which direction to go. Which, over the course of the next 2 days, may benefit you to have some type of tool or way that you find that innermost part of yourself where you kind of get still, you know, and then just allow the water to flow, or allow the information or allow the knowledge to just flow and just come out like whoosh. I wish I had a sound effect for the whoosh. Whoosh. If that makes sense. And I'm tying in Scorpio, the 12th house, with your introspective, insightful, subconscious, and, you know, arriving to answers and all that, and your inner vision, Moon in Pisces. Very psychic with those tarot cards there. You do very well, I would say, if I had to guess. There, right? Another testimony that points to that is Saturn in Pisces. It's a strong possibility that you might be thinking of relocating or finding a place that suits you as a little bit more. You got a little more elbow room is what I've been saying for Saturn in the 4th house there. You know, there's a little bit of baggage in connection to family matters with Saturn visiting here. You know, the mother's, the stress and the tension that the mother receives, or the difficulties that the mother is experiencing, you know, it makes for you to provide some assistance, if you will. And if the mother still with us, hopefully. Talk to me. Yes, it's been overwhelming, to say the least. I live by the ocean, and I've been swimming a lot. Yeah, I think that's excellent. I think that's excellent. I'm thinking about like just the sitting still. It's something about sitting still. You know, not for nothing, Saturn, you know, Saturn was going retrograde for a couple, 3-4 months. And now Saturn is stationary retro. What it means is it's in its direct motion, but it's kind of coming out of a slumber, if you will, from the retrograde. It's turning its gears, getting its, turning the engines on, revving them up to go direct. But it's sitting at the 0th degree of Pisces, revving up its engine, heating up the car, you know what I mean? We're coming to the, I don't like to say it. Some people say don't say it. Like, if I say it, it's not going to come, but I'm going to say it because it's inevitable. It's a rhythmic cycle, right? Wintertime, where you start up your car, to get it all warmed up. In essence, Saturn in Pisces at the base of your chart, it's the bottom of the chart, has a lot to do with our foundations and where we're secure and just sitting like a foundation still. Underneath your house is a foundation that's still. Its purpose is to sit still, right? And it's through that stillness that you receive and you kind of get like this working or this plan, if you will, without having to do too much work. Like, let it flow like water is my advice to you, if that makes sense. Boom, bam, pop. And so another testimony to that, what I just explained, is this this new moon, the ring of fire right here, that occurred in your 11th house with networking, leading up to this full moon in Taurus, which is in the 6th house. So the health and hygiene and routine in that regard, and the pouring into the self-care, you know what I mean, ties into some of your insights, your spiritual insights, if that makes sense. A lot of family drama, yes, buckle up, little trooper, because for Sagittarius risings, Sagittarius sun, moon, and risings, it has a lot to do with this Saturnalia, Saturn in Pisces. So it goes back to, what is that? I gotta go back here, bear with me. I wanna find this date. Let's go here, let's go to months, boom, bam, pop, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, back, 2, 3. So Saturn went all the way to like 6 degrees of Pisces. And over the summer, so from the summer, it actually got to the 7th degree. So March, so the spring. So if you reflect, everybody here, Saturn and Pisces at 0 degrees, or Pisces, wherever Pisces is in your chart, whatever planets you have in Pisces, you can kind of go back to March, the spring, around the equinox, the spring equinox. This is when Saturn ingressed into Pisces and you started to feel some of the pressures. Some of these things resurface, and it has a lot to do with boundaries, the setting of boundaries. And it has a lot to do with, consideration and respect, if you will. And so that's a 2-year stint, Saturn in Pisces. Sagittarius risings, think about, creating more, I say more elbow room, because Saturn sometimes restricts, and there's a need for, space in the living conditions, right? I don't know if it's remodeling or if it's actually moving, or we'd have to look at the rest of the chart. Pisces, 4th for I, yes. Natal Mars, 5th house, Pisces. Ooh, ping! Gandra, you got all the planetary aspects lining up for, at the same time that you have to sit still. Look at the aspect of Saturn in Pisces, saying, "Be still, Daniel-san." Does alcohol have to do with Pisces? Alcohol does have to do with Pisces. They say it is said Neptune and Pisces. Okay, Crystal. Oh no, I don't know how much I can take. Oh, I've been itching for solitude, and it's been a hard couple of weeks because it feels like everyone is grabbing my attention. Yeah, well, I'm gonna say that this new moon, or the past new moon, was the ushered in, collaborations and networking, right? But it's interesting because the sun is in the 12th house, and the 12th house is the house of self-improvement. And one of the things in the areas where you need to improve, essentially, potentially, is your time. Like, that's good for people to grab your attention, but you have to be able to set boundaries to be able to, hey, all right, hey everyone, all right, phone's turned off. You can reach me at this time and that time, which ties in Saturn in this connection between Scorpio and Pisces, which is denoted by the moon and Saturn's relationship here, right? Working with Scorpio. Like over the course of the next 2 years for all Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, and planets, right? Saturn is in your 5th house. So when it comes to your self-expression, you have to create boundaries, especially when it comes to you having fun and enjoyment and the expression of self. You got to have the you time to be able to replenish. One of the characteristics for Scorpio and archetypes for Scorpio is the replenishing, the renewing of the spirit. How can you continually give if the well has run dry? Boom and pop. Oh, I didn't left off the top. Damn it. Are you with me? Boom and pop. Yeah, time and boundaries is important. The build up. Let the beat build. All right, let's get a scream in here. That scream is to denote the Scorpio season. And I'm turning 23. People have been saying it's a hard year astrologically. 23. The intense emotion of Scorpio season. So, what do I want to say to you? You're welcome. So, one thing that I look at with the readings that I do, the private readings that I do, is the perfection years, which I use sometimes. Let that beat build and then drop. Exactly, then drop the beat for real. Let's see, so 12, 24. Yes, I see. So the person or the people who have shared with you that 23 is a challenging year, it's likened to the 12th house perfection year, if you will. So 23 years of age is the 12th house perfection, which is the house of retreat. So this month is huge. If you, Bobby, what's good? Welcome. If you, right, and in the course of this next 30 days, your birthday and your recharge. Mind you, every time around your birthday is a time where you need to retreat, right? And so with Mars here, in your retreat with Mars here, you kind of arrive at some truths that you want to share. And astrologically, it's saying sit on that and reflect on it to be able to express it in its totality and get rid of some of the skeletons, that have been bothering you. It has to do with the weakness of the will, the weak will, the negative thoughts saying, oh, you can't do it, You know, like building yourself, telling yourself that you love yourself. Like all this 12th house stuff has a lot to do with improvement. The 12th house is likened to a hospital, if you will, right? The hospital is the place where you go through a process of healing. You're in the infirmary. This is right around your birthday. This is some of the experiences that you get right around your birthday. It's a time to self-improve and have this solitude time to reflect. The insights that you get and the replenishing, the renewal of the spirit through solitude and proper self-care, which is denoted by this full moon in Taurus. And it's an eclipse. So the lack of self-care and health and pouring into yourself and proper rest, 8 hours or however many hours it takes for you to recover, renew, and be whole. You see what I'm saying? Boom, bam, pop. Be sure to smash the subscription button ever so gently. Hearts in the comments if you're enjoying the live. Talk to me, someone. Talk to me. Blue Moon, welcome. Perfectly chaotic. Appreciate you. Artsy, how are you? All right, who is next? I spent a little time on you, Crystal. Thank you so much. Cash App is in the comments. Scroll up. What else do we got here? Subscription on Patreon is in the description. What else? We do PayPal. We do all of the things. I also have an Instagram. The letter T Labco. All you got to do is scroll back. You'll find it. We're doing your big three. Who's next? We're going to have to get another coffee here in a minute. Key So, you're so patient. Put your big three back in there. Put your big three back in here. And anybody else who I haven't done. I'm next and I'm still here. Smarter than you. I think you are next. Crystal, after me was smarter than you. Crystal, keep it up here. You're gonna be a moderator if you keep that activity up with helping out like that. That's perfect. Okay, smarter than. After me was smarter than your TV. Then after is Kiso. Okay. Where is Cynthia Cushy? Cynthia Cushy, that's the first comment that I seen you put in there. Be sure to put your big three in the comments. Let me know. We'll do your TV. Smarter than you TV. Be sure to like the live. All those who like the live, appreciate you. Smarter than TV, we need you. Smash the subscription button ever so gently. Jesse G, appreciate you. All right, we need some big threes in here. More importantly, we need TV. We need Smarter Than You TV's big three. Gary Key, I see you. Welcome. You're on the list. Okay, bear with me. I'm multitasking here. I'm multitasking. Thank you for your patience, each and every one of you. Smarter Than You TV, we got you covered here. The one thing about me, Crystal, you're psychic. I don't know where you've come from, but you're quite the psychic one. I don't know how you could tell. It is coffee time. It's definitely coffee time. And we're already turned. The one thing about me is you don't have to put the houses. I'm using whole sign house system. The water's boiling now. But I have energy. I actually, when I went to bed last night, not for nothing, I went to bed around midnight and I was like, man, I want to go live. I want to talk about, I had some stuff on my mind about these transits that I'm sharing with you here today. But I was like, nah, I want to get my rest. You know, that's kind of, I was just thinking about when I was getting my coffee ready, I was thinking about you, Crystal. I was like, that's what I want to tell her that. I want to tell her, like, when you want to do something and it burns, you got to kind of check the flux capacitors and make sure that they're all charged up. And I'm glad that I went to bed, even though I didn't want to, because I'm pumped up, fired up, and ready to go. Boom, bam, blip. If you're over here on TikTok, you're missing out over here on the tube. You're missing out. We're having a blast over here. All right, so those who have just joined, welcome. Appreciate you. We're doing your big 3 plus transits, and I'm looking at this chart here, which we're approaching 130. So let's get this a shift. Let's give it a shift here. Excellent place. Excellent channel if you're into learning more about the astrological chart and how to conceptualize and put it together. Boop, bam, blip. All right, so let's go over here. Let's approach 130. Boop, bam, blip. We got Capricorn on the ascendant. Not for nothing. This is for those who are in the East Coast of the United States. Boop, bam, blip. Without further ado, let me get Smarter Than You TV. Smarter Than You TV, okay, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, Sag Moon, Pisces Rising. Let's get you. Let's get your chart in here, rather. We got Pisces on the ascendant, Aquarius in the 12th house. I think that when the sun is in the 12th house, you know, it doesn't bring the best relationship with the father, but I think that these people are, they can spend long hours by themselves. Long hours by themselves, keeping themselves occupied. And there's a lot of soul searching. I wonder if your memory is good, a good memory. Because it's constant contemplating over the subconscious aspects of the self, right? Let's look at this thing here. Blip. Okay, I have to do that sometimes for the camera to focus in. I don't know why it does that to me, but. Okay, so right off the bat, we got Pisces. This is sensitive. So with the Pisces rising, it is sensitive. It's giving, it's caring, it's compassionate. It's all of the things that, you know, do for others. You know, sometimes you put others over yourself. Now, here's the kicker. Saturn is at the 0th degree, and over the course of the next 2 years, you're going to harden up a little bit in a fashion that makes you a little bit more serious. It makes you a little more serious. It makes you a little bit more reserved. You know, it makes you not so quick to express this compassion. You'll express it, but there must be respect. There's an importance and a need to create boundaries here. So that's the Saturn transit. And with the moon in Pisces now, some of these experiences and this influence actually take shape now and over the course of the next 2 days, right? There's one feature. The moon in Sagittarius definitely put the mother, the education that comes from the mother and or the grandmother is significant, right? And Sagittarius as a fire sign is harmonious with Aquarius in that Aquarius is an air sign, fire and air. All right, our coffee's whistling. Hang on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't want to hurt anybody's ears, so I'm going to mute this for a second. Hang on. I'll be right back. Smash the subscription button ever so gently. Okay, we're in here like swimwear. Boom, bam, pop. Coffee ready. Anna, thank you for the rose. I appreciate you. Ouch. All right, Smarter Than You TV, is this resonating with you? Talk to me. Damn near photographic memory, and I love being alone. I live alone and can go a day without saying a word if I don't have to. Ha! You know what you make me? You remind me of Smarter Than You TV. You remind me of what the hell is that guy's name? What is his name? It's right at the tip of my tongue. He's a clairvoyant. He's a clairvoyant. He goes into like this trance state. You know, he's a clairvoyant. What's his name? Oh, it's right at the tip of my tongue. I can't get it. Anyhow, you know, you remind me of this clairvoyant that I'm thinking about who, you know, spends a lot of time in trance state, you know, in meditation, and receives knowledge. You know, the sun in Aquarius is knowledgeable. You know, it points to truth. You know, it points to the facing of truth and solitude. You know, going where no person has gone before when it comes to knowledge and truth and awareness. It doesn't bring the best relation with the father or the father figure, you know, or there's like some mystery behind the relationship and the connection, some awkward weirdness, strange, awkward, you know. I say awkward because Aquarius can be and can connect to an awkwardness to the father and or the father figure. Oh, I meant to unplug this. Let that sound serve as an awkward sound. Boom, bam, pop. Okay? For the 4 people that are over here on the talk, how are you? Good afternoon to you. Come on over to YouTube. You're going to love it over here. I'm raising up the mic, the thing. Oh, pardon me for that terrible visual. Each live gets better with time. Okay, so this is some of the features here. Now, so Scorpio is where the sun currently is, and the sun sign points to the theme. You know, the sun is the giver of life. It gives life. What does it give life to? For you, it gives life to philosophy and education. This is schooling and training in a class that you probably potentially decided or are excited about. The sun in the ninth house brings a light. Oh, you know, to philosophies and education and the inner guru in you, and you have a want to teach, ninth house-ish, right? Because Mercury is here, right? It points to a book, or going back to a book or information and understanding of how to teach, or insights and understanding of how to share, right? What it is that you know, your wisdom. Mars here makes for someone who's enthused to share. Coco, hey, welcome. How are you? So this is the theme. The theme is, and it also points to travel too. Some people don't recognize, but I want to share with you that there's a direct correlation between education, higher education, and our learning and our understanding. It correlates to travel and going to distant places where you've never been before, or places that you do not frequent. Every time that you travel and you go somewhere new, you learn something which is directly connected to going to a college or taking a class. You meet new people, you learn new things, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You know, these are Sagittarius, ninth house-ish things. And with the sun here, this is what you come back to books, you come back to information, Mercury, you get excited, Mars, and enthused to teach and or take classes to expand and broaden your horizons. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Carmel, St. Hilary, welcome. How are you? Everyone who's here, be sure to smash the subscription button ever so gently and like the live if you like it. Jesse G and the moderators are in there doing an excellent job. Be sure to subscribe to the moderators. They're great. All moderators that I have in here are awesome. Boom, bam, pop. Who are we on? Smarter Than Me TV. Okay, so now I want to talk about how this theme of ninth house education and philosophy culminates to this full moon in Taurus in the third house, which deals with close relatives. It's connected to family a little bit. It's connected to valuing yourself a little bit, but it's more so in your mindset on a day-to-day basis and placing value, Taurus, right? In connection to your affirmations or your thought processes or the information in your process of thinking. You know, how you think, how you speak, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. If you're interested in a deeper analysis, I do private readings, tlcastrologer.com. Be sure to subscribe to the Patreon. Every Sunday, we do a live Zoom call where you can talk to me and I share my screen with you and we start unraveling the intricacies of the astrology, the astrological chart. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Don't forget about, from the last time joined, Coco, I haven't forgotten about you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm naturally a teacher. I had teacher tell me I should teach others since middle school. And I moved from Illinois to California in 2021. And I'm currently studying before I start putting content out. Let's go. Smarter Than You TV, let's go. Now, hang on, we got to get a cheer for Smarter Than You TV. Wait a minute, come on, I lost it. Wait a minute. Smarter Than You TV, let's go. Let's get it going with that. Huge. Now, I want to know who's next. Whoever's next, put your big three in the comments. I'm really getting tired of scrolling back here. It's taken away from me pouring into you. So if we can all work together and look and see who's next, just scroll back. I'm going in order best I can. Put your big three in the comments. We're going to get to you next. But I quickly want to say congratulations to you, Smarter Than You TV. I usually say this, for those that know me, know that I've been congratulating all Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising signs because of the growth, the significant growth that you've gained between 2020 and 2022, these years here. You know, significant growth and development with leaving the past, leaving it in the past, not letting it affect you. But I do want to say that moving forward with all that and preparing content is that structure and timing is something that is your friend. Saturn, it's tough. It's a tough planet. There's challenges there. You know, we learn lessons. It makes us stronger. You would know that more than anyone. Boom, bam, pop. All right, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Kiso is next. Thank you, Ganja. Jesse G. Okay, Kiso, you're next. Thank you so much. Smarter Than You TV, appreciate you for sharing. There's so much more. I have a big problem. One of my biggest problems is I love this stuff, which is really not a problem, but I have a tendency to do more above and beyond. It's appreciated for all those who want to subscribe, all those who want to donate. The Cash App is also back there. If you scroll back, TLC Astrologer. I also have Instagram, the letter T, LabCoat7. That's me as well. You know, if you're into astrology, if you're enjoying the live, I don't mind you putting hearts in there. It's kind of like an amen at church. You know, pastor gets to talking, blah, blah, blah. This is not church. Don't get it twisted. But, you know, every once in a while, even if it's not your turn, you're just listening, you know, you can put a boom, bam, pop. You can do whatever you want. If it's a positive affirmation, it might add value. It might add value in this transformative time that we're in, Scorpio. Let's get it. Sagittarius, you got to get your rest. You definitely got to get your rest, even if it's a power nap. Just wanted to put that out there. Boom, bam, pop. Cynthia, thank you for the heart me. You are on the team. Misha, how are you? Documentary chick, let's go. Come on over. We're on YouTube having a blast. You're going to love it over here. Ay, caliente. Okay, so boom, bam, pop. You're on point. I appreciate you for taking your time for reading. Me definitely going to have the book of private reading with you soon. Take your time. I'm here when you're ready. Kiso, Cancer Rising. Let's get you. Ah, that Cancer Rising kind of incorporates into this grand trine in the water signs. Cancer Rising, Aries Moon. Mother or grandmother is assertive. You know, the mother or the grandmother has instilled some form of competition within you, a competitive nature, a competitive spirit in you. Aries has Sagittarius in the 6th. Okay, let's see you here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This is you. This is your astrological chart, rather. Cancer Rising in the 1st house makes you a natural mother, a natural nurturer, nurturing. It's interesting because the moon is the planet that rules Cancer, so the moon is your chart's ruler, if you will. Right? So wherever the moon is by transit, the moon is in Pisces right now, so it points to travel for you. Scorpio in the 5th, Pisces in the 9th house with the moon. You know, this speaks to education and teaching and learning and expanding and understanding, you know, generally speaking. It's maybe some difficulties a little bit with your transportation and or education, your ability to move about as easy as you'd like. Might be a little bit more challenging now than it's been. Foxy Line, welcome. Cynthia, welcome. Thank you. User 22456, thank you for the rose. Appreciate you. If you're into astrology, you come to the perfect place. We're over here on YouTube. You can see me show you and demonstrate. I'm doing your big 3 plus transits. You can be on the list. Come on over. We're having a blast. All right. Love for the last read. Carmel, I appreciate stuff like that. You keep it up. You're on the team with stuff like that. You're on the team with that. All those who comment and show love. It's encouraging to me. I love it. I like it. Thank you. I appreciate you. PA on the Lab Coat Astrologer. Yes, Ganja Queen, appreciate you. Who the hell am I doing again? I'm doing Kiso. Okay, so let's get to this. I wonder how accurate that was with your transportation circumstances and your schooling. I want to tell you that you can do it. You know, all those doubts in regards in connection to your learning and taking that class or whatever the case may be with the 9th house, with the moon there now. Saturn goes over your 9th house, the house of learning, over the course of the next 2 years. But more importantly, you're probably more interested in the love life. The Sun, Mercury, and Mars are in Scorpio, and it creates this grand trine with the 1st house, 5th house, and the 9th house. On point with the mom. Thank you. Appreciate you. Jupiter with the pink hand. Welcome. Okay, so what else do we want to focus on? So the love life. Is it the love life? Is it the children? Is it the interaction? Is it the first child causing a little bit of problems? Impatient or moving too fast? And the education there and the communication between you and children? Or not yet? Am I too early? Jupiter, welcome. Thank you. Ah, you got your name as your chart's ruler. I like that. Sagittarius rising, Jupiter. Got you. Love it. So it's safe to say that you know about your planetary rulerships. Transportation is Gucci, but schooling being pulled in different directions. As soon as I make a decision, I'd be like, nah. It seems like hard work. Let me get to this. It seems like hard work, you know, the schooling and whatnot. You know, probably possibly because of the work and the want to make money. You know, but it does bring a significant amount of, it adds value to you. That hard work that you go through in regards to balancing work and schooling actually benefits you long term. I want to dig into your perfection chart, but I'm gonna, too early, no kids. Okay, perfect. Well, this is the opportunity for you to learn. Learn as much as you can, travel. You know, go through those humps and bumps. It's gonna assist you in the long run. Bashir Brown, I see you. Did you put your big 3 in there is my question. Jupiter, if you've put your big 3 in the comments, I'm definitely going to get to you. We're going in order here. Thank you for your patience. Definitely going to get to you. I'm definitely going to get to you. Also, I'm 32, if that matters. Okay, yes, it does matter. I was looking for the perfection. You gave it to me anyway. All right, perfect. So check this out. Let's dig into this. So you just experienced your Saturn return. Within the past 4 years, you just experienced a separation in your relationships and being more independent, potentially, right? So 32, we got 12, 24, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32. Let me see. 36, 35, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2. So you're in the ninth house. At 32 places you in the ninth house. This says school. School's good for you. It brings more stability and solidifies career positions for you. Places you in the avenue or in the wave, if you will, for school. At least take these next 30 days to see and invest some time to see some of your options in that regard. Boom, bam, pop. What do we have here? So this new moon ring of fire highlighted your living conditions and connections with the family leading up to this full moon in Taurus, which points to friends, networking, and collaborating, and community. The 11th house deals with community and friends and associations, if you will, and long-term goals is what that is about. It's interesting how your sun in Sagittarius in the 6th house, this looks like the taking care of the father or the care for the father's health and well-being in that regard, or sharing and learning and growing through and with the father or the father figure, and healthy eating and diets and workout plans and such, and yada ba ba ba. And the moon in the 10th house has to do with the competitive nature. I already said that with the mom and the grandmother, but it places you in positions of authority, administrative positions, especially looking forward into the next 3 to 4 years-ish. But it's the home life and the networking, which looks like a focus for you, Kiso. Woke up. YD? What's YD? You said like a whole new person. You thought your sun was in the 5th house. Your sun may be in the 5th house. I don't want you to think that your sun is not in the 5th house because I've placed it in the 6th house. I've placed it in the 6th house because as a Cancer rising in the whole sign house system, Sagittarius would be the 6th house. But you may have part of Sagittarius straddling this 6th house cusp, and some of Sagittarius may be in the 5th, where your sun is, and some of Sagittarius is in the 6th, and you have a portion of Capricorn in the 6th as well. Oh, YD means yesterday. Thank you so much for that. I'm learning. You may have the sun in the 5th house when you look at the chart, but by whole sign house system, you have Sagittarius in the 6th. Thus, the sun is in the 6th, and what that means is that you can interpret Sagittarius in the 5th as well as Sagittarius in the 6th. I myself, I use the equal house system as well as the whole sign house system. The whole sign house system is a good house system to use if you're just beginning to just put the whole sign in the house, right? But you've gone a step further above and beyond, and you've recognized that, I got the sun in the 5th house. But because Sagittarius straddles this 6th line, this doorway to the 6th house, it's actually, this point is the doorway, right? We can read the sun in the 6th house. So we can say the sun in the 5th house adds to your ability to be creative, talented, and athletic. You know, there's an athleticism to you. You know, you enjoy, you know, taking chances and gambling, especially when it comes to travel and transportation. Hopefully it's not speeding. Stay safe. But yeah, definitely, or potentially, astrologically speaking, it is long-term goals. I would look at this schooling, though. One testimony is 32 years and you being in a 9th house. You know, you got to face these fears that you have in regards to schooling and balancing school and work. You know, plus the moon is here at the time that you come to me And I share these insights with you. The moon is in Pisces, which is your 9th house. So that's 2 testimonies. That points to schooling, you know, and the fact that Saturn is here with the moon is that there's a need for some growth there. Dr. Gigi with the roses, 4 of them, a box of them. Appreciate you. Doing a session, yes, come on over to YouTube. You're more than welcome to come check it out. You're more than welcome. We need you over here. 40 more people. We have 40 more people in here. We would have had 100 views, which is good for the algorithm in the lab coat. Another way in which to contribute to the lab coat without finances, without money, is double tapping, smashing the subscription button ever so gently, and staying tapped in. All right, who is next? Kiso, thank you for the teaching. You know, you taught me something with that Sagittarius sun. You added value to me. Not for nothing. For something. Not for nothing, for something. You know, Sagittarius, I gain from Sagittarius insights. You have dimples? Dr. Gigi. Yes. My parents gave me dimples through the good Lord. Yes. Double tape for likes. Double tape. This coffee is definitely kicking in. Amen. All right, who's next? Yay, this is great. Thank you so much. Kiso, appreciate you for sharing. Who is next? Glad I could help. Thank you. YD means yesterday. Taurus got your tongue. Yeah, I mean? I like that. Taurus got your tongue. And I want to bring back this scream. Let that scream stand for the intensity of emotion. Not in a good way, not necessarily in a bad way. Both. There's a combination there. There's a combination going on there. If you're just getting here, welcome. We're doing your big 3 plus transits. Come on over to YouTube. Someone help me out. Scroll back and see who's next, if you don't mind. Who is next? Thank you for your patience. I'm moving as rhythmically as possible. We got Capricorn. We got Pluto just ascending right there, right now. Boom, bam, pop. Coco, me? Coco, you're up. Survey says, okay, Coco, then Carmel. Let me scroll back. Let me see here. It's a lot. It's a lot, but let me do it. First, let me see if I could find... Okay, are you saying actually Cynthia like your name is Cynthia? Saint Hillary? I know say. Okay, let me see Coco. Okay, Coco, I got you. Sun, Cancer, Moon, Sagittarius, Venus, Virgo. Coco, you need to give me your rising sign, love. Give us the rising sign. I know you got Venus in Virgo. You're having a Venus return, which means that you're potentially on an ultimate vibratory frequency of serving others and helping out with Venus in Virgo. Let's see where this Venus in Virgo, how this Venus in Virgo transit and return is affecting and influencing you from an astrological perspective. Let's check it out. Let's see what we have here. If you're just getting here, welcome. Thank you for attending. If you're into astrology, I'm doing astrology showing the transits here, using this as a reference point. The Sun, Mercury, and Mars in Scorpio, with the Moon and Saturn conjunct in Pisces. If you denote these blue lines here, we're adding in, this is the main feature, this is pretty significant here, connection between Scorpio and Pisces with the Moon and Saturn. Saturn has to do with patience. Saturn has to do with respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. I'm a Taurus and sidereal Scorpio Moon and sidereal Gemini rising. Really? Oh, so you wanted to put this little sidereal in there today, Dr. Gigi. Okay. Okay. Coco is up right now. We're doing Coco. We're even doing a little bit of perfections in here. Happy birthday to all the Scorpios, by the way. That scream, again, is for the intensity of emotions for Scorpio. Let me see. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay, so you're not familiar with your rising sign. How did you, okay, so Coco, let me ask you this question. Riddle me this. How did you find your moon sign? Don't be sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. We don't do sorries in here. There's nothing sorry about us. It's degrading to yourself. You're back? I didn't know you left. If you have your chart pulled up, look at me. Look at this here, Coco. We're going to help you. You have your rising sign. If you have your chart pulled up, look over here to the left side of the circle. It'll say AC. The chart that you're looking at, it'll say AC, and that stands for rising sign, and it'll have a zodiac sign there. It says AC, the zodiac sign that's in the first house. If you look at this chart here, let me show you this here. If you look over here, this is the left side of the circle. If we zoom in here, excuse me, pardon me. If you look here closely, it has AC and it's pointing to 27 degrees Capricorn. So 27 degrees Capricorn is rising. Pluto is actually on the ascendant, and this denotes the rising sign. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Take your time. Don't get all flustered. You're up. What rising sign do you see there? And I want to share this with you. Let me see if I can share this with you. How can I share this with you? I can share this with you like this. Real quick here, I want to show you this. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. 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 Explanation of the symbols. I think this might help you. These are the symbols here. These are the symbols. This is the Aries symbol. This is the Taurus symbol. This is Gemini. This is Cancer. This is Leo. This is Virgo. This is the Libra symbol. This is the Scorpio symbol. This is the Sagittarius symbol. This is the Capricorn. This is the Aquarius. This is Pisces. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I hope that wasn't too fast. Let me go a little slower on that one. Did you find it? Cynthia, I appreciate you for saying, I think it's Leo. So it looks like this. So it looks kind of like this. It looks kind of like this because if it's Leo, then you should see right after it, you should see a symbol that looks like this, Virgo. If this is Leo on the ascendant, and Virgo should be after Leo in the chart when you look at the circle. Let me go back here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yeah. You see, this is Leo. This is Leo here, and always after Leo is Virgo. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This is Leo here, and then this is Virgo. Did that guide you a little bit? Okay, so you're Leo. Perfect. Got you. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Thank you for your patience. I make myself laugh. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay, perfect. So you're a Leo rising. Got you. Now let me scroll back to your information here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay, so you're a Leo rising. So this is what it should look like on your little chart that you're looking at. I'm so glad that you got your chart up too. You see that? Working together is winning together, and you just learned something, not for nothing and for something. So I'm saying we just found, from my comprehension, Leo is on the ascendant. It's on the left side of the circle, and then you have Virgo in the second house. It looks like this, and then you have Libra in the third house like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you have the sun in Cancer. Look at all these 12th house suns. You have the sun in the 12th house, and it should look like this. You should have the symbol of the sun in the 12th house, which is just above the ascendant. You were born right around morning time per this chart. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius is in the 5th house, which is where your moon is. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And you also added that you have Venus in Virgo. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Carmel, you like the ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Coco, talk to me. Let me know if this looks like what you're looking at there. Talk to us. If you're over on TikTok, you're gonna have a blast over here. I don't know what you're waiting for. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay, perfect. Thank you for the confirmation. Now we know we're on the right track. Now we can dig into this thing. I'm so excited. Let's get it. Now first, the first thing I want to speak about is the sun's position in Scorpio here in the 4th house. We got the sun, we got Mercury, and we got Mars here in the 4th house. Let me zoom this up a little bit here. This is what we got. Now the 4th house points to the home and the family and the living conditions and the dynamics here. When the sun, wherever the sun is, it brings a theme. Oh. Right? So the theme surrounding the family, the living conditions, the security, the comforts. Now, when you were born, the sun was in Cancer. You have the sun in the Cancer. And I've been saying a lot of people, not for nothing, and for something, that have come through here, this channel, that have liked, that have subscribed, and all the good things, have had the sun in the 12th house, which points to someone who can spend long periods of time by themselves and is a stickler for self-improvement. The memory is good. The memory is enhanced with Cancer in the 12th house and the sun shining a light there. Right? Family is important. And your emotions and your feelings, they have a tendency to get hurt real easy, I would say. The feelings get hurt really, really, really easy. But it makes you particularly someone who can remember. The memory is strong, right? And the instincts and the inner vision and the feeling base. Now, boom. So I want to point to this chart over here. I want to go back over here because there's a grand trine happening in your astrological chart. Now, I don't know on your chart if you have these color codes here, but I want to point to this blue color here. This is Pisces, this is Cancer, and this is Scorpio. And so in the transiting skies, there's a connection between Scorpio and Pisces here. Scorpio and Pisces. And we can plug that into the astrological chart and connect the 12th house and the 4th house. Boom, bam, pop. So there's a tie between looking at some of the past experiences and the past emotions and how you felt in family matters and family experiences, right? And some of the ongoing current situations connecting to the family and either the power plays or manipulation or coercion or irritations and frustrations and getting your point across to family members and healing from the past. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I just explained to you what the Grand Trine is. I hope you picked that up. Cynthia Kusi, I see you. You've been here for a while. Thank you for your patience. You're next, I think. You're up, I think, next. That explains a lot. Thank you for your confirmation. So check this out. What do I want to say here? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So the new moon, ring of fire, solar eclipse that transpired in Libra. I know you see two sun symbols here. It's not that you have the sun in Libra and you don't have the sun in Scorpio, but this was what happened on the 14th of October. Ever since then, right? If we digress a little bit, the new moon, the ring of fire, was in your third house. Now, astrologically, the third house has to do with and points to our mindset. It has to do with the thoughts. Our thoughts. It has to do with our thinking process, our process of thinking and understanding. Toast Food Truck, Sunday Toast. How are you? You're making me hungry with the name. Appreciate you. If you're into astrology, you come to the perfect place. We're over here on YouTube having a blast. Your big 3 plus transits, you could be on the list. OB444s, welcome, present. Thank you for being here. Gift for me. Yes, it's the mindset, and it's being encouraged, you know, and your confidence. Even though you're a Leo rising is said to be a confident person. You know, but it's the mindset, and it's also the words that you say, the things that you say, you know, your understanding of relationships within the family matters and with close relatives, the brother, the sister, and whatnot, you know, is what's activated. More reading, more writing, maybe picked up a book or something like that. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Now that the sun is in Scorpio, you know, this new moon in Libra, even though the sun is in Scorpio, is still a feature leading up to this full moon in Taurus, which looks like points to your career and your reputation and some fruits. You know, when I say fruits, I'm talking about the manifestation point of Taurus, you know, and manifesting something in connection to your career and your work and your business. You know, it brings a climax there. Oh. Dr. Gigi, thank you. What's a good site to look up my sun, moon, and rising? D-Smooth. If you came over here to YouTube, I'd show you. It's astro.com if you don't want to, though. I've been using it for over 2 decades. It's a great website. It's a great website. You can find your sun, moon, and rising as long as you have your birthday, time of birth, city, and state. City and state. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I picked up a book today. Yeah, you did. Did it have to do with self-esteem and how to express yourself in communication and how to balance and find balance in communication with family, maybe? Potentially, possibly. You know, or did it have something to do with the ego and the way in which to control your emotions and harness? You know, I say that because Leo has to do with, Leo's a giving sign, okay? It gives the world. However, astrologically speaking, Leo and Scorpio have a 90-degree aspect to one another. And so what that means, I don't want to get too technical, but if we were to get this protractor right here and we were to place it and overlay it on this chart here, we would see that the ascending sign is 90 degrees to the 4th house, which points to the relationship, the geometric relationship between Leo and Scorpio, which points to a little bit of tension. You know, when it comes to ego issues, our expression of the ego, right? And our desires, and you may be using force. You know, so you want to be careful of things that you say. Take your time. Don't speak too quickly to family members, you know, in a negative limelight. You know, maybe think before you know, maybe, let me hold this. Let me put this through another spin cycle one more time. Make sure all the water's out of the goddamn, or excuse me, out of the clothing. Excuse me, I didn't mean to offend anybody if you're of a religious mindset. Each life gets better with time. But this grand trine that I was talking about, Cancer, your sun sign, and the Sun, Mercury, and Mars in Scorpio in the 4th house, and Pisces in the 8th house, which is the house of shared resources and your moral code and relationships. Perhaps that book has to do with the way that you interact with others and how to find this balance, perhaps. But it leads up to a climax of this full moon, this lunar eclipse in Taurus, which in essence highlights your career, your reputation, your status, your public image, what you're known for. Don't shake your head, you're doing good. Come on, pick up your head. Don't you shake your head like that, you're doing good. Be encouraged. This season is a season of revival. You know, it's the shedding of skin. It's the snake. It's the process of the snake or the tarantula. I think the tarantula actually climbs out of its old skin. It's out with the old and in with the new, in a sense. You know, it's the phoenix bird that rises out of the ashes, out of the fire that burns. You know, this actually is not the phoenix bird. It's kind of the phoenix bird, but I was thinking phoenix bird, but now that I'm doing this position, it makes me think of Karate Kid and Daniel-san, which is also an energetic that's similar to the emotions that he rides. You know, Daniel-san was getting his butt whooped, and then he had to rise up with the one foot, rebirthed into a whole new being, a whole new person. You know what I mean? Boom, bam, pop. Empress speaks. Welcome. How are you? Good to see you. Be sure to smash the like button and the subscription button ever so gently. What movie are you guys talking about? I missed the movie. What's the movie? Whoa, I like movies. Care to share? How did I miss the movie? Wait a minute. My name is actually a derivative to the phoenix, Firebird. Coco, let's go. What does that mean? I don't know what it means. I really don't know what it means. But what we can do is we can attach that phoenix name and derivative to where Scorpio is in your chart, which is in the 4th house, meaning that you can rise above these irritations and frustrations within the family and transform and renew by using patience and taking your time and being secure and focusing on your foundation. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Fee nice. The movie is The Secret. Oh, The Secret, the Law of Attraction movie thing. I gotcha. I'm all fired up with this coffee. Who's next? I'm ready to go. Boom, bam, pow. Who is next? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hi, can you answer some questions about my transits? Jacqueline, come on over to YouTube. Definitely, you could be placed on the list. I'm all coffeeed up, ready to go, pumped up, fired up, ready to go. And I'm channeling. I'm in kind of like a little channel zone too, not for nothing. Per my astrological chart, the water signs are, the waters got me in that. I'm like Michael Jordan on scoring the most points in a game. Boom, bam, pop. your YouTube channel, Lab Coat Astrologer. Pardon me, I didn't mean to say it like that. It's Lab Coat Astrologer. Finis with a short E. Ah, finis. Finesse. Finesse. Coco, you put a little finesse on it. A little finesse, little finesse. Happy birthday to all the Scorpios. Who is next? Nobody's next? We're all done? We're all done? Cancer rising here. Jacqueline, you're so protective. You're a natural mother whether you are one or not. Caring, you are. You're dizzy. What the hell happened to you? What? I'm missing stuff. I mean, I just got my glasses today. Yeah, take your time with that, dizzy glasses. Cynthia Kusi, I think Caramel is next. Cynthia has been waiting. Cynthia has been waiting. I think Cynthia's next. Jacqueline, hi, you made it. Wonderful. Oh, Cynthia, then Caramel, and then Jupiter. Cynthia, I'm looking for you now. Cynthia, Jupiter, Caramel. Sounds like a drink. All right, let's see if I can find you. Or let me find you. Scorpio rising. All right, forgive me for that air laugh. Ha! It does sound like a tropical, awesome drink. Maria, welcome. Good afternoon. If you're just joining, welcome. You come to the perfect place if you're into astrology. We're doing your big 3+ transits. I gotta make an erase. I gotta erase here. Cynthia Kusi is up. Cynthia, Scorpio rising. Ooh, the sun and Mars are right on your ascendant. It makes you, so do you recognize how desirous you are, how to achieve what it is that you set out? You know, you have all this energy that you got spurring up within you. It makes for you to be driven with Scorpio on the ascendant. In a sense. See, this chart's getting a little bit dirty. We might have to do another chart. Is this chart, this chart is getting a little messy. Is this too messy? What do you think? Do we got to start over with another chart? This eraser, we're using this eraser for sure. I've never wore one of these erasers out. I think I'm going to do it this before the year's out. Great job. I'm adopted, so what can you do for that? If you know your birthday, I can do numbers for you, Maria. You come to the perfect place. I'll find your rising sign, even if you don't have a birth, even if you don't have a time of birth. I'm good at that, for real. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm getting ready to reset this live on TikTok. Come on over to YouTube. This is what you got. This is what we got for you, Cynthia. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. If you read ours last week, can we do it again? Or is it just for the new people? Nah, it's for everyone, Empress. Come on, Empress. I'm not gonna leave you hanging. This thing is forever moving. This story's forever ongoing. We got you covered. And it's repetition. It's one way in which the word I'm going to use is neuroplasticity. You know, that's the only way that you can really get good at astrology, is by doing it over and over and over. How did you get good at tying your shoe? How? There's only one way. All right, bear with me, Cynthia. Hang on, I gotta go see nature. Nature's asking something. Let me see what nature wants real quick. Hang on a second. I haven't for the life of me figured out why. Oh, was that on? I don't know if that was on or not. I don't know for the life of me why it flips me like that. No idea. No idea at all. Yes, Cynthia, we have you. You're in here. This is you. Before I left, I was talking about how the sun is now in Scorpio. And although your birthday was approximately 2 months ago-ish, with the sun in Virgo here, right? The sun on the ascendant is significant. The sun on the ascendant brings a newness to the persona, to the way in which you project yourself, you know, how you present yourself to others, how you project yourself. And because Mercury and Mars are here, it makes you a bit more thoughtful about your actions, how you present yourself to other people, how you think, how you speak to others, right? Similar to the third house. And it brings a significant drive and tenacity to accomplish and achieve what it is that you set out for to do. Right? Have you recognized this over this past couple of days here, Cynthia? And one thing about your astrological chart, this is actually Scorpio. If you look at this here, ever so geometrically, you recognize that the sun in Virgo and the moon in Capricorn, the midpoint of the two of them is Scorpio. So it's kind of a beautiful blend of your astrological chart of turning that which is practical into the fulfillment of your desires, Scorpio on the ascendant. You know, the sun in Virgo in the 11th house points to the importance of friends and long-term goals, you know, and planning. This would be the planning in you. And also it has connections to community work. I don't know why don't start doing that now. Wait a minute. And I'm twisted again. I don't know why this is doing this. No idea why that keeps happening. Mandy, welcome. How are you? We're over here on YouTube. I'm gonna reset this live and start it over here. We gotta charge the battery over here anyway. Yeah, this is a whole new you. This is a whole new you with the Sun, Mercury, and Mars on the ascendant. And so I want to focus on this connection here between Scorpio and Pisces. For all Scorpio risings today, because of the fact that Scorpio and Pisces, there's a connection there with the sun being in Scorpio and the moon being in Pisces. That's kind of an interesting play, how your sun sign and your moon sign. The sun sign is how you express your core, what you give life to. You give life to details, specifics, and health with friends and community. And it's distributed through structure and organization within the community, within the neighborhood even. There's a little bit of coldness that's shared between you and close relatives and how you communicate with them. The mother is a little strict and a little cold-hearted at times. Can be. Can be. But it's interesting how the new moon, the ring of fire in Libra, over the course, ever since the 14th and last month-ish, the last 30 days, have been a time of soul searching. You know, in essence, the 12th house is the house that refers to self-improvement. You know, the 12th house has a lot to do with hospitals, which is a place that can be correlated and likened to improvement of self, all right? Which leads up to this full moon in Taurus in the 7th house, which has to do with partnerships and relationships and the desire to share with the partner and engage and have, you know, opportunities in relationships. because Jupiter is here. This is what's coming up. But I was talking about Scorpio and Pisces because Saturn is in Pisces. So it kind of brings a little bit of, what do I recognize? I recognize Saturn in Pisces in the 5th house. It's kind of like a 2-year stint that's like, we're not really into having too much fun, really. You know, it makes for Scorpio risings to be a little bit more serious, you know, and restrict some of the play because there's a focus on achieving a position or a structure, a basis, a stabilization point. Saturn brings the need to be more disciplined and keep track of time, if you will. It also points to the respect in through and by and with children, as well as in the love life here. You know, it's interesting because the moon in Pisces here in the 5th house opposes your sun in Virgo, right? So this time over the course of the next 2 days, it does have to do, or there's an influence of you expressing your creativity, your talents, and what you enjoy, as well as your skills with understanding some of the talents, some of your talents, right? In community work and organizations and collaborations and the such. Can I see the hearts? Yeah, when y'all tap them fastly or something like that. Sometimes I see them. I don't know if y'all are tapping them fast. Can everybody tap the hearts real fast? See if it's, yeah, you got to tap the hearts fast. See, I'm liking the live like that. When you see all those bunch of hearts like that, it's when you have a rapid fire. This makes me think of the video game Contra and Nintendo. That's very old. I just aged myself. But anyway, that's what that is. Mandy, how are you? Welcome. All right, Kusi, are you still here? Cynthia? Does that resonate with you? What do I want to share with you? What do I want to share with you? I want to share with you that it's important for you to love yourself, you know, with the moon in Pisces, and recognize some of your achievements, right? With Saturn there, because sometimes you're a little bit hard on yourself, right? And you will be, you know, if there's no love or is there no one there to share your time with, but it's a time to focus on the self, right? And the moon is there now, as well as over the course of the last month, there's a lot of soul searching, perhaps, potentially, and improvement. So I want to give you a little congratulations, a big congratulations, if you will, for recognizing some of your own flaws and wanting to make subtle shifts towards being a better Cynthia Kusi, Apia. If I said that right. I hope I said that right. I gotta plug my chart. My battery's dying here. I really enjoyed this, or I'm enjoying this live. Be sure to smash the subscription button ever so gently. We got a lot more in store with the lab coat here. Each live gets better with time. Yeah, another thing that I just got to download, Cynthia, or realizing that Venus is in Virgo, right? So Venus is the appreciation. Venus points to what we appreciate, the appreciation of friends, right? And the time shared with friends through and by, and allowing the friends to care and provide some type of service and help and assistance and the ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you know, to you personally. You know, allow it. All right, who is next? I took a little bit of time with Cynthia there. Thank you for your patience. Let me scroll back here a little bit. I think that we did Cynthia and ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Caramel, I think is next. Let me see. Caramel. Oh, Cynthia than me. We did Cynthia. So Carmel's next. You know, be sure to smash the subscription button. If you'd like a private reading, I also do private readings. The website is tlcastrologer.com. If you'd like to donate to the cause of the Lab Coat Astrologer, the easiest way is Cash App, TLC Astrologer. Carmel, thank you for your patience. Boom, bam, pop. All right, Caramel, looking for your big three right now. Everybody, thank you for your patience. We've been boo bam and popping for, is that 3 hours? Holy cow. Boo bam pop. I can't find it. Can you put your big, thank you so much. You're a mind reader. Carmel, love it. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Hearts in the comments if this has assisted you, if it's added some value to you and a perspective, some insight. This is what I do. This is the art of astrology here, right here. This is the art of astrology and how the individual puts together the pieces, the components rather, of the astrological chart. Boom and pop. Can I go after Caramel if no one is after her? Please? Yes. If no one's after her, for sure. Who's after Caramel? Can someone look and see who's after Caramel? Okay, Libra Rising. Libra Rising. Libra Rising. Aries Sun. Virgo Moon. Ah. Some healing with, through and by, the connection with the mother and or your childhood circumstances in the, let's see here if we have this. All right, bear with me here. I gotta go here. I gotta go here. Bear with me here. I'm gonna take you for a walk here for a minute. Here. let's go for a little walk. Okay, this is your chart here. This is your astrological chart here. All right, perfect. We have it here. Fumble. Okay, Carmel. So I got to take you for a walk for a minute. And looking at your astrological chart, with Libra on the ascendant, the sun in Aries in the 7th house. You know what I've recognized about the sun in the 7th house is that relationships are everything. You know, this is where you shine. You shine in the area of relationships. And this stems, I'm getting ready to dig into your early childhood, if you will. Because it has a lot to do, there's some subconscious actions in connection to your father or the father figure, and putting the partner, even though the sun is in Aries, right? But, and Aries is the self. It points to the self and the self first. Sometimes it can be selfish, yes. But because the sun shines in the 7th house, it is the well-being of the partner. There's kind of like, I find that this denotes someone who maybe their voice wasn't heard when they were younger. And, you know, they didn't really get an opportunity to express themselves, so thus therefore it was other people and what they had to say, which was placed first. And so as you grew and have grown, from my experience with the sun in Aries in the 7th house, is that you put the partner first over your own well-being. And so another testimony to that is Libra on the ascendant. Now watch this. Astrologically speaking, in the current times, the present moment that we're in, this ring of fire happened right in the first place. The sun and the moon, the ring of fire was on your ascendant on the left side of the circle. And so what that means is that it's kind of like a whole new perspective, you know, and a looking at some of the deeper aspects of yourself and how to find this balance, you know, of evenly distributing the care and the well-being for others and the well-being of the self, and putting the self first. That's one of the main features. That's what this new moon ring of fire in essence has pointed to, as well as where your natal Venus is. We're not going to get into your natal Venus, but transiting Venus is in the 12th house. So you see that moon in Virgo in the 12th? That's actually receiving some benefits. You know, Jupiter is a planet of benefits. Venus is also a planet of benefits. Currently in the transits right now, Venus is visiting your moon, your natal moon, your ability to analyze and start to see like, oh, this is what I got to do. Oh, I got to pour more into myself. I see, I saw. You know, there's appreciation and there's benefits through the placing the self in solitude and reflecting on some of the minuscule details, if you will, in order to find this balance. It also points to boundaries, right? Libra progresses into Scorpio. So if we were to look at the present moment for you and how you've evolved, it kind of, you know, has a lot to do with placing boundaries in the love life and whatnot, and fairness and putting the self first and ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And so it leads up to this full moon where Taurus is in the 8th house. It's right after Aries where you have the sun. There's a full moon that's culminating there. This is the climax, right? And because the moon does very well in Taurus, I'm saying that this is a manifestation point. What manifests and what comes out what you realize, what you become comfortable with, and what you need is for others to pour in more into you and you not do so much. Not to say you do nothing, but it's for the partner to come forth. Come forth, partner. Share your resources. There's got to be what do we call this? Reciprocation is the word I'm looking for. Are you with me? You know? And so right after Libra is Scorpio in the second house. So to tie all this in a knot, the theme is your finances and or your value, like what values you bring to the table, you know? I'm not seeing the comments moving. Are the comments moving or no? Let me see. Reciprocity, thank you. That is a perfect word. And fumble its fourth and approximately. Mine as well. Mine as well. Be sure to smash the subscription button if you're enjoying the live ever so gently. I think it's time for a different Caramel, thank you. Cynthia, did that resonate with you? All right, who is next? Who is next? Started multitasking. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm gonna get a little different. I have another instrumental. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Empress is next. If you're just getting here, welcome. What we're doing, your big three plus transits. And we're approaching the 3 o'clock hour. Boom, bam, pow. Let's get it. Let's change this time to 3. We've got Aquarius on the ascendant. And we can still see these blue lines, this blue connection here. This connection between Scorpio and Pisces. Don't be sorry. Sorry is not allowed in here. I'm going to take that. I'm going to put that as a word that is unable to be commented for the next live. There's nothing sorry about you. It's demeaning. I know what you mean, and we're used to it. There's a pattern, there's a strong synaptic presence and connection, rather, when it comes to. Thank you, Empress. Thank you. I don't want you to demean yourself. It's not good for your nervous system. You know, we say it so much that we don't even recognize that it has a negative effect, but it does. And being that we're coming into the age, or we're in the age of knowledge and truth and science, right? We might as well live a scientific life, huh? I think I've almost erased the paper away with this thing here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right. All right, ba-da-ba-ba. Okay, so Capricorn on the ascendant. All right, Capricorn on the ascendant. Love Capricorns for the structure, discipline. Not for nothing, when the sun ingress Scorpio, which is your 11th house, the house of long-term goals, the house of friends, the house of community, collaboration, networking, and whatnot, with the sun in Scorpio, dreams and wishes and goals, right? I haven't mentioned this, but Mars, I think I mentioned that Mars is the ruler of Scorpio and the ancient rulership, and Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. And not for nothing, this is the last sun in Scorpio that we'll experience with Pluto in Capricorn, not for nothing, which completes a 20-year cycle, or a 20-year rhythm, rather, of Pluto being in Capricorn by transit. Which has a lot to do with the way in which to overcome difficulties and hard spots when, you know, life changes and whatnot. Pluto in Capricorn makes for one who is, it points to psychoanalysis. Pluto is the planet of psychoanalysis. It's similar to the subconscious and looking deep within the subconscious, you know, if you will. And so there's kind of like a graduation of the way in which Capricorn risings introspect and find answers, and the connection through friends and goals and reaching their marks, long-term goals. So that's one feature. What do you have? The sun. You said you have the sun in Aries. So competition within the family. It looks like the father or the father figure is the breadwinner. I find sometimes that when the sun is in the 4th house, it makes for the father and the father's dwelling and home and living, or the security through the father, significant there. I see what you're saying, 13 degrees, so the sun is in the 3rd house. So I want to share with you that this is whole sign house system, which I'm sure you already knew that because you've been here before. So we can read the sun in the 3rd house, and we can read the sun in the 4th house as well. So Capricorn can be denoted by someone who's serious, the boss, and controlling at times, in a good way and in a bad way at times. And the sun in Aries is the leader, the champion, right? The warrior. So it makes me think that the father instilled some type of, you know, self-defense, or the way to defend the self and whatnot. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You were born during a full moon. You may have already known that. And so by transit, we can see that, or we can identify Libra, where the ring of fire was, the solar eclipse. The sun and the moon was right where your moon was at. Weren't you working with something with your job? But you got a new position, a new job, a raise or something? You were acknowledged or recognized? Or your work was a theme? I remember that for all Capricorns, but I think I remember that for you. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said, yes, I keep forgetting. I like that you said that you keep forgetting, but lets me know that this repetition kind of adds value to notifying. Now you're learning how to, you know, flip-flop equal and whole sign. Know what I mean? But this is the focus. So the Ring of Fire activated the career, the reputation. The Sun in Scorpio points to some of your goals and the setting of goals and looking into the future and preparation in that regard. And the full moon in Taurus here, in the 5th house, the climax is the love life. The climax is self-love. The climax is your enjoyments and your talents. You know, where Jupiter is, which essentially by transit points to some benefits in love and some benefits through the expression of your talents and creativity. It's also the, what is this place? This is the place of self-love, because it is the heart, the house of the heart, and what you hold most dear to the heart. It's interesting. It looks like this full moon points a little bit to Virgo in the 9th house. You know, the traveling on the account of helping and working with someone or assisting someone at a distance with Venus in Virgo. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, that's right. You were traveling back and forth to help mom out there. Ah. So it looks like in your travels, okay, boom, bam, pop. I got you. So let me close my door for a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I remember that ever so vividly now. So we were talking about the mutual reception, remember? We were talking about the mutual reception between Virgo and Libra, the 9th house and the 10th house in the career, okay, helping mom and all that, bop, bop, bop. Your moon, look how your moon is in Libra. That connection is denoted, or the correlation to the mom and the helping out of the mom as a status and a form of work. And your natal moon being in Libra and the Ring of Fire being there, and that's something that starts new. Maybe helping her out with her status and reputation. But anyway, there was a mutual reception going on between Virgo and Libra with Mercury in Libra. But now Mercury is in Scorpio. So not saying that you no longer help mom, but there's a shift, an energetic shift where it points to the addition or the incorporation of your goals into getting back to some of your goals and your drive for some of your achievements. And this full moon in Taurus looks like through this mutual reception, it created some relationship that formed, you know, where you go back to see how mom's doing, as well as to unite with a partner in some regard, some friendship maybe even. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Mom is a Libra. Her Mercury's in Scorpio too, that's funny. That is interesting. Why is the chat blank? I don't know why the chat's blank, Mandy. You might have to refresh or something. What do we do? Maybe you hit the hide button. I'm not sure. Your mom has Venus in Libra. That is pretty interesting. Mom is the business partner. Ah, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Now, you know, it's interesting. So when you put all these planets, we're not doing all the natal placements. We're just doing the sun, moon, and rising, but I can't help myself. Because what's brewing with mom's Venus in Libra, which is your 10th house, it's kind of like energetically, I can say, I feel comfortable saying confidently that the mom's money and the mom's financial well-being assists your career and your public. So if that's a business partner, Venus is on its way. Your mom's getting ready to have a Venus return. So that works good. And so this full moon in Taurus, right? Because Venus is the planet that rules Taurus, it adds to, this full moon adds to the making of money in the future, but currently right now it has a lot to do with transportation, the transportation that's provided for said clients or within the whole business strategy. I'm not going to get too crazy with that because I don't want to say things that are not there. But with mom having a Venus return, it adds to your career, your position, the 10th house, because you have Libra there, which is where the ring of fire was. However, with Mars, I do want to point to Mars because this is the theme now, Mars in Scorpio with the sun and Mercury there. So the goals, there's a need to evaluate the goals, what your aspirations are in connection to the business, you know, and to take your time and be patient with it, double check, triple check, dot the I's, cross the T's, all of that, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you know, so that the opportunities or the financial increase that potentially may be coming can be received. Mars and Scorpio and impulse and making rash decisions without analyzing and investigating, you know, all that has connection to the resource or the value to your clients, if you will, in some way, shape, or form, in their money. Vaguely put, but that's a little bit of that. All right, who's next? Empress, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. Did I get everybody? Empress, you're welcome. Congratulations on your ventures with Mom Dukes. That's exciting. Some type of retreat. I need a retreat to Jamaica. Hope you have a masseuse there in the whole thing there, involving spas and water. Look at that. Scorpio has a lot to do or is connected to water. Mars is hot. Water is Scorpio to renew the spirit. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Some type of resort and a rebirth, a renewing of the spirit. Add that in there. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I noticed that when it comes to the transits, when I watch commercials, whether it be on any platform like TikTok, Instagram, whatever the hell thing they do, you know, they are in alignment and they go in flux and flow with the archetypes of the zodiac signs. Whether they do that on purpose or accident, I do not know, because I don't work for the teams, but over the course of the years and following it, that stuff really happens like that from my eye view. It's dynamic. And this is what people are looking for, potentially. They're looking for an intense change, a renewal, of refreshing of the spirit, like goddamn, excuse me if I offended anybody, from caterpillar to monarch butterfly, flap. That's what I find. We're all looking for that. The rebirth, the phoenix bird, coming out of the ashes to be renewed, revival. All right, who's next? Did we get to everybody? If you just got here, welcome. Be sure to smash the subscription button and the like button ever so gently. We're doing your big three plus the transits. Boom, 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 boom. No one's next? Mom has a resort and I'm using it to do then. Liddy. And these are general readings, even though you may not think so, even though you may be thinking they're quite accurate. But it's the incorporation of these pieces. They're like pieces to a puzzle, if you will. You know? The Sun, Mercury, and Mars, those are 3 pieces. Saturn and the Moon, those are 2. We got 5 pieces to the puzzle that are in water signs. I want to bring your attention down here. Let's look at this here. I want to show you this chart. This chart here. This is a quick way in which to assess the elements. This is like a cheat sheet to be able to quickly assess and get a reading, a 4-way reading of the elements, if you will. You see all these blue symbols? These are the planets. You can see that most of the planets are in the water signs. You know, this is the water. In essence, it's like going with the flow and your feelings and your emotions and ba-da-ba-ba-ba. But quite simply, it's when we put all the planets, you know, that are in your natal chart, plus the progress chart, plus the solar return chart, which are methods that I utilize in my private readings, that where the story starts coming together. Okay, so we did everyone. Big 3, your big 3 plus transits. All right, I appreciate each and every one of you. Stay tapped in. I'm going to take a little break. If you enjoyed the live, smash the subscription, the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.